Okay, you guys, we are live. Hey, you guys, happy Monday. Everybody, come on in, hit that like button. It's me, T. I got my girls, Bree and Keish, on the line. And
Hello.
yep. We're going to talk about the young and the restless, the bold and the beautiful, and beyond the gates for the week of July 20th through the 24th. We are headed into August. Another 8 months have passed by. This is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, I have to get stuff ready for Christmas.
Girl,
No,
4 months
don't even
almost.
don't even
No,
say the words.
wait. You get all the. See, this is like the best time of year to get your Christmas decorations because no one's thinking of it like that. Everything is on sale. Everything is on sale.
Well, I
I don't
know
even
I'm
want to think
about to
about
get
Christmas.
slammed because it's, what, let me see, 3 birthdays coming up. 2 in November, one
Mm-hmm.
in October, and then there's Christmas. So, be broke.
Jeez, yeah. Usually
I
how
get
it
I get a break
is.
in the first half of the year because it's all about me, my birthday, and Mother's Day, right? But then at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year, yeah, I get slammed.
Yeah. I don't know why we spend so much money towards Christmas, but thankfully I just have my son to worry about.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think you get all the good like Christmas decorations and everything is on sale. So I think the last year I think I spent maybe $20, and I
$20.
and I had like the garland was like 25 cents. The Christmas balls for
Mhm.
like you get like four for like $1. Like this is
Mhm.
like the best time of year to buy it.
Okay.
Same
No.
same
I'm
same thing like when you get the winter time you get all your summer stuff.
Stuff. Yeah, it's like opposite seasons by everything. Did you
Mm-hmm.
see Deborah Ferguson's message? She says, "Hi family, how was everyone weekend? Y'all, please remember to hit the like button. It's free."
Thank you, girl. I had a good weekend. I've been out and
Uh,
about.
mm-hmm. Hey, oh, let me call out some names because a lot of folks was up in here early. So Miss V Young, Mary Gracie, Melissa Spencer, Cynthia Chain, Jenna is on time today. Hey Jenna,
Hey
Hey,
Jenna.
Melissa. I said Melissa. That girl 7609, Brooklyn Rayna, Jacqueline McCullough. Let's see, Crystal Rowe, Aisha Jackson, Melinda Pierce, Paris Barnes, Jasmine, and again Deborah Ferguson, Gail Lewis, Joyce Chitwood, Monique Abrams, Sawana Jenkins, all the usual suspects. Hey y'all got in here early.
yeah,
Yes. Go ahead. What you about to say?
yeah. We got a lot to talk about from last week.
Well, especially on Bold.
We got a prince of all simps
Oh
on that
God.
show now.
Oh my goodness, girl, who you telling? Um, Also, you guys, like I was telling Bree and Keish before we jumped on, I know I've been doing a lot of standalone videos, and I really, really, truly appreciate you guys because I've been seeing all of your comments. And the more comments that you make on the video, it definitely triggers the algorithm to continue to recommend it. So obviously we have, from what I've seen, we got almost 50 new subscribers from this past week, which is a big thing. Hopefully some of you newbies, if you're in the chat today, make yourself known. We're a nice little soapy family over here. We've been on um, in the podcast space since 2019, 2020, starting with me and Keisha, and then Bree came along in 2022. So we've been at it for almost 7 years.
Wow,
So yes, and we are
you've been on
going.
for 4 years now. Good
Girl,
lord.
yeah, you've been on here since 22.
Hmm.
Yep, and
Wow.
then Keish went and did a deployment, and then that's when we had Trish on
Yeah.
until Keish got back. And then, of course, things happened, personally in Trisha's life. So, she took a break from the podcast. But she still is up. She
You still
jumps in the
pop saying it now?
conversation. Yep.
Hmm.
So we've been at this for almost 7 years, and we appreciate the support as we had transitioned from Anchor over to YouTube. So yeah, I think I brought it over because according to YouTube, I hit 5 years. I thought it was 2022 that I brought it over, but it was actually 2021 when I hit YouTube from the podcast. I mean, from the Anchor
Oh, okay.
side. Yeah, because Keish, we did it from the Anchor side, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Anchor got bought out by Spotify, and they made it that much harder to podcast, in my opinion, from that
Yeah.
platform. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take everything over to YouTube. So
And I like it this way better, honestly, because at least on here we could mute when we need to mute, and we couldn't do that on Anchor.
yeah, nah, that is true. Now I will say it was a larger reach on Anchor
Yeah.
because you remember, Keish, we used to see people from all over the globe. It'll give us a
Yeah.
percentage of the folks that would interact with us, and sometimes people left messages every now and then. But hey, you got to evolve and move around, and we've met so many great people along the way, including people like Bree and Trish and Jay Money, and But yeah, originally it was me and Keisha. I
Yes, it
put a
was.
message out on Facebook, and I said, anybody want to do a podcast? And Keish responded, and it's been history ever since.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
I don't even know what made me think that I could do something like this, because I'd never done a podcast before. I
Mm-hmm.
never done anything like it.
Girl,
But
you
I
fell right
figured,
into it. We just started talking about the soaps like we was,
yeah,
yeah, yep.
I figured as much as I like watching TV, why not
Talk
talk
about
about
it. Right.
it?
And it's good people over here. We know we have our differences of opinions. We respect
Mm-hmm.
each other, and at the end of the day, we still cool with each other, and we talk about
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. So sometimes, and we know you guys in the audience may have difference of opinions. There are Hope fans, there are Steffi fans, there are Sheila fans, there are Victor fans, and then there's some people that don't like those people. So, we definitely have a one, we don't have a, well, I guess we can say we have a one size fit all type of podcast because some of our opinions lean either way. We got Cat fans now, and then we got Eva fans on here too. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Depends
have,
on the storyline.
it depends on the storyline, exactly. So, we have a good old time over here. Look, Paris
Yeah.
said, a nice walk down memory lane. Yes, it's been a long journey, to say the
Yep.
least. All right, you guys. So, for those that, like I said, are new, we do Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and Beyond the Gates. And then we have segments at the end of the show that's a little bit more fun, like Flip the Script, Who's Taking Several Seats, Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week, the Simp Olympics, and the Audacity Award. That award used to be owned by Lily Winters, but it's so many new people who get that category, so she can't hold the name of that award anymore. So it depends,
It
yeah.
might be. It might be Electric Force or War after a while.
Exactly. At one
Mm-hmm.
point, y'all said hope. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what's going
But
on
this
that week.
this quarter is a lecture.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to go ahead and jump into Young and the Restless. A lot of stuff going on last week. I know, Keish, you were talking about the whole thing with Phyllis and Matt and how desperate she seems.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'll let you kick it off with that.
Yeah, I was just so you guys know I catch up on Y&R in one day because
Right.
it's a task for me to watch. But when I was watching the episodes today, I saw the one, I can't remember which day of the week it was last week, but when she got in the argument with Nick, and then she goes and is like talking to Matt about working for her at the company that Victor gave her,
Mm-hmm.
and like almost begging him to stay. And it's like, Phyllis, I just, why are you begging this man? And begging a man who don't have anything. Not only does he not have anything, but he has a horrible past. So it was just weird to me that they had her basically begging him to stay in town. Like, I know that maybe she's lonely, but you ain't got to be that lonely. Like, it was just on the level of desperate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has been lonely for a couple of years, and then she got her a little son when she got with Kane, but he really wasn't all that into her. But I mean, she's just catching all L's. I'm like, all the stuff that he's done to the people in Genoa City, he ain't got no money. He has a bad reputation. No one's gonna want to hire him. And this is the man you want to keep around you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Girl, when he said, "Will you buy me breakfast? I don't have any money." like,
okay.
Oh Lord.
I know you was cringing at that, Keish.
That was very cringy.
I mean, it
Like,
kind of
you
touched
are
me a little
jumping.
bit too, cause I was like, he was like, "Hey, I ain't got no money. Can you buy me some food?" I'm like,
Like,
okay.
girl, you are jumping feet first, head first, or whatever it is, whatever that saying is, into something with a man that can offer you nothing but a headache right now.
And I guess
I don't get it.
And I guess impeding because he the way that they were together in that hotel room.
Child, it can't be that good.
Like grab her by the neck and kiss her. She didn't care at that point, but I mean, this man had a whole ankle monitor because a whole other grown man is monitoring his every move,
Right.
and he has to rely on that same man to get a cell phone, to get a place to stay, and he has to follow directives. And I'm like, Phyllis, this is the man that you want.
I'm just so disappointed.
You know, but she was in. Okay, so when she was dealing with Jeremy Stark originally, was that some sort of a romance too?
I don't know. She was clowning with that one too.
Yeah.
But I think didn't Jeremy at least have money?
He had a little something more than that. He had more than that. And, you know, I mean, he had no problem being messy. You have Matt, who is like wishy-washy, like, I'm not going to stay, but I'll stay for you. I can't do this. I'll do this. And I mean, I just don't see the appeal. I love Roger Corman.
Yeah.
I like.
He's a great actor.
Fantastic actor. Nothing to do with the actor. It's just a character.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what direction are we going to go in? Because didn't, like, at the very top of the week, he had that run-in with Nick and Sharon and Sienna, and I can't wait to get to that too. But
was it even a run-in though? He went to the bar. Like, why?
He very glutton for punishment. But I will say that I guess Phyllis is not the only other person who sees that. I guess he's changed, because Sienna has changed her too, and Noah doesn't like that too much.
Mm-hmm.
I can give Sienna a little bit of grace considering she used to be married to him. Phyllis, I don't understand. Like, you have no reason to want to be bothered with a man with this much baggage that you basically have to take care of because, like you said, he has no money.
Do you think it's a situation of them, like, because one of the reasons that she said that she connected with him is because she is an outsider. So do you think it's some sort of like a trauma bond? Like, you know.
Like, I guess that's what they're making it. But I'm sorry, I'm not connecting with a man whose past was being a, you know what, to Sharon.
Yeah,
I can't. Even if I didn't know the person that he assaulted, just knowing that about him,
you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to wash away that past by saying he don't remember and he's a good guy and he's not that person anymore. And they have Phyllis in her dialogue continuously saying that he's not that guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She's always
Yeah.
saying that. So it's kind of like saying, well, if she's okay with it, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I guess
And
so. I
I
just
will
can't see past it.
and I will say that Nick is like, Phyllis has done a lot of wrong things, but even she doesn't deserve Matt Clark. That's saying a lot. And I was actually really surprised by the dialogue with Sharon and Nick. I figured Sharon would be more upset at Phyllis since they're BFFs now. It's like I was hoping there would be dialogue since they were at the coffee house, and Sharon's going to rip into Phyllis for even getting involved with them. I was hoping for that, but the way Nick was chewing out Phyllis, I'm like, if you were wiping your hands clean of her after the stuff that has happened with the coup, why are you still invested in what Phyllis has going on? It's one thing to focus on what Matt is doing, okay, but you're chewing out Phyllis in the process, and for what?
I think that just shows that Nick will never ever write Phyllis off, no matter what he says, and I think that just shows that he's always going to
be
he's always going to
possessive.
care about it. Yeah,
I
be
got a
possessive,
question.
always
Do
care
you
about it.
think because of what she did with Danny that they're trying to make it look like they both similar? Because she drugged Danny and got into bed with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
Because
mean,
they have similar, I mean, obviously it's a different type of RAP3, but it's, I mean, anytime we said the same thing about what Patty did to Jack, which technically Phyllis did to Danny.
yeah. I mean, I guess they could do that, but this for me the difference is she did that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like they continue to bring it up over and over again and remind everybody that she did it. And the thing with Matt is that he did that back then. They brought him back. They still made it a big part of his storyline coming back. And then they had him do more stuff after they brought him back. So it's not like they brought him back and he was like he had gone through years of therapy and he was a changed person over the last 20 years and he is reformed and he's not doing anything like that anymore. But they didn't do that with him. They brought him back as the same man that he was 20 years ago when he did what he did to Sharon and Nick. So it's like if the purpose was to bring him back and to make his character, I guess, semi-permanent part of the cast for more than just one storyline, why did you bring him back in this capacity and then immediately try to redeem him through like
Yeah,
amnesia
I
or
think
whatever you
they
want to
made a
call it?
flaw with that because when they brought him back, it was for a sweeps month. I don't. Was it
Mm-hmm.
November or was it February, Bree?
I would say November because they left LA in December because Sienna was there with them for
Right,
Christmas.
correct. So I think they wanted a shock factor for November sweeps, brought him back with all this craziness, and then decided, hey, this guy is a great actor. How can we keep him around? You
And
know,
they knew that man was a good actor before
right?
they cast him on the
We
show, and I
talking
feel.
girl, we talking about somebody that's no longer there who we thought could make some
Mhm.
sense.
And I
Yeah.
feel like this is always a big mistake that the soaps make is that they bring somebody in, have them do some outrageous stuff, and then they want to immediately try to redeem them and make the other people on canvas seem irrational for wanting nothing to do with them. And then they want to turn that person who actually did some mess into a victim, or they try to victimize themselves. Nobody wants to be bothered with me. Nobody wants to be my friend or give me and it's like literally less than a year ago you were kidnapping and trying to unalive people.
Right.
It's not how it works.
And I think the part for me, like I get where people would try to make the comparison with what Phyllis did. That was like 30 plus years ago, whereas Nat Clark was still obsessed and practically stalking Sharon, like, and knowing what he did, was trying to still terrorize her down to like terrorizing her child. It was a bit much, even present day. But whereas Phyllis, she was just obsessed with trying to get a rich rock star, not minimizing what she did. I think half of the cast has done this though,
Yeah, that's the
and they
problem.
got a
Because he got
redemption.
Michael in the mix too. I mean, yes, he's a
Mm-hmm.
reformed lawyer married to Lauren Fenmore, but he did the same thing himself.
And Lauren did this too. Like Lauren did this, Diane did this, Patty did this, Chelsea did this. I'm pretty sure there's more other people, but I would say almost half of the cast has done this, and they were able to get a redemption. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not out of the realm for him to get a redemption. It's just when they reiterate what he's done, it's like you can't allow us to move forward. Same thing with the Remy stuff on Bull.
Right.
So it's like, what do you want us to do as the audience?
Right, because if you keep having the Newmans talk about how horrible he is, at what point do you redeem him? Because it's always going to bring back to the forefront all his crimes. And the thing is, blowing them up in the building, all that stuff that happened in Vegas. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just too soon. You know what I'm saying? It
exactly.
just happened, and we just saw that on screen at the end of 2025.
Yeah, and people can get their happy ending because we see the what Mike. Oh, Kevin did the same thing too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Everything that Michael has done in his earlier years to now, I mean, it serves him right to be Victor's lapdog. Like he's
Wow.
earned that. I mean, given his actions, and
Mm-hmm.
then Chelsea, just everybody. Like we if you're going to keep him around, if he's going to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, you see what he's worth. Give him something, to sink his teeth in.
Mm-hmm.
Stop giving him the same storyline that was used for other actors who played Matt Clark, and it
Right.
never went anywhere.
Right. Yep. So I don't know. It's. I will say the scene between them was pretty interesting, and then of course the next episode they were. Good morning. Remember, Bree? We was wondering
Mm-hmm.
whether or not this was gonna go, but at the same time, it's kind of hard for folks because, like Keisha's saying, all the things that he's done, only for Phyllis to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to sleep with you and take care of you." It's kind of.
If if Phyllis and Sharon were still enemies, I can kind of see that. But
Mhm.
even still, they're very close in proximity to each other, and now they're friends. And it's
Mhm.
like, why would my friend get with the man who essayed me and attacked my family?
Right.
And even last year, I ran to Las Vegas to see what was going on with my child. I called you, left you voicemail messages because of what this man had did to my family.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my issue. Like, and that's why I was hoping there would be more dialogue between Sharon and Phyllis, because I feel that needs to happen, because a lot of that really happened more so to her. And
She was just
I
pretty calm about it. She wasn't like, "Oh my God, how could you be with somebody like that? You know what he did to me," or let me tell you what he did to me." She was just like whispering behind the back with Nick. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. So I hope the writing just gets a little
it
bit
gets different.
better from that
Now,
point.
what do y'all think about Nick's reaction? Because Nick has been really opposing when it comes to Phyllis, even with the fact of, obviously he's recovering from this addiction. But then, even when all this other stuff was going on, now all of a sudden you care about who I'm with. And don't do this. You can be better. It's like, dude, are you a fair weather ex or what?
I'm a little. I know some people are thinking that he might have feelings for him, and they keep putting it in the dialogues. I
Right.
think Victoria had asked him. I forget who the other person had asked him, but I think he's an addict, so he's finding things to fixate on. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he wanted to try to work next to Victoria so he can try to put his energy into that. Now
Mm-hmm.
he's putting all his withdrawals and his anger and this fixation on Phyllis and the stuff that she has going on with Matt Clark.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just wondering about that because for a while ever since this whole company takeover, he is just, whether the woman saved his life or not, he's just been walking around mad and angry at Phyllis. The moment that he see her with Matt Clark, he's just like, oh my God, he wants to talk to her. Don't do this. I'm like, okay, is it because
Banging
he,
down the doors.
yeah, and beating on doors and all types of stuff? I'm like, dude, yeah. So that was kind of
Right. If
crazy.
when he's sober and he's clear minded, I don't think he would be that invested
Mm-hmm.
like he is. I think he's just finding anything to fixate on.
Right.
Oh, I think he 1000% would have had some words for Phyllis, even if he was sober.
Oh, you think
The
so?
Maybe not banging on the door like he was and doing all of that, but I definitely think he would have cussed her out the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
but Jenna said I think he's jealous. Is it out of jealousy though?
I didn't
I
really
didn't. I
read
don't
it
think.
as
I don't see this
jealousy.
jealousy. I just think he just don't want that girl with Matt, but he also don't want to be bothered with her either.
So I'm
I
like,
mean,
why
the
are
way
you?
that he was saying it was like he basically Matt is still in town now because of you,
Right.
because he wants you. You want him to stay here so you can be with him, or whatever the case. But Phyllis was also like, "How about you go talk to your dad, because Victor also is the reason why
Want
he's
to?
still here, because
Right.
Victor had him basically not really hostage, but whatever that weird arrangement was that he had with him, where he was
Yeah.
Yeah,
staying at
that
the
whole thing
ranch.
is crazy. Talking about you can't. He had an ankle monitor and all that stuff on, so they can track him around town. And I think in the
Mm,
promo for this week, she's supposed to help him take that thing off his ankle. But
Which
Victor
is
wants him to stay in town to try to keep his eye on Kane. Whereas everybody else want him gone. Noah, Nicholas, Sharon, they want him out of, just out of the way. So,
and even
yeah.
that is goofy. The whole thing of him wanting Matt to keep an eye on Kane. It's like Kane knows that you sent him there.
mm-hmm,
So what is he really going to get out of him?
right. Yeah, that part don't make sense to me.
Like if I wouldn't even use that. I mean, my issue is with Phyllis because Matt's going to do what he wants to do. He can pop up in her room one minute and he can leave the next.
mm-hmm,
Like, why is she trying to put a target on her back? She just got Arabesque.
Yes.
Why can't that be her focus? And then you're going to hire this man on, not knowing his skill sets and knowing that there's a bunch of people that hate him.
Yeah.
You want Victor to really come after the company he just handed you, free and clear.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just to be a misfit, just to prove a point.
mm-hmm, yep. All right, let's move on to another storyline. I kind of want to talk about this whole thing with Sally, Adam, Chelsea, and Billy, and might as well throw Audra in the mix. So, I mean, I honestly, okay, let me ask you guys, and then I'll give my opinion. Do you think that was a good idea that Adam put on the table? Like, look, you about to have a baby, get married, you don't need all that stress. I owe you anyway. Let me buy the company from you. I'll make it look like I finagled it away from you. Nobody got to know that money transfer hands. And then that keeps Victor off your back. And at the same time, we get Newman Media back. Good plan
This
or
was
no?
stupid. This was stupid. It sounds nice, but even after today's episode, that's still not satisfactory for Victor.
Right. And I'm going to get to that part because Billy got issues with it too.
Yeah,
Which,
but I don't feel that he owes Sally anything. Both parties have moved on and moved forward. So what exactly did he owe her? And on top of that, you're going to put yourself in the line of fire with your father again.
So you think
And
it's a bad plan?
yeah, and my thing is, so you had the money to buy back Newman Media, but you couldn't start your own business and not to worry about your family and worry about getting employed.
Yeah. What do you think, Keish? Good or bad?
I'm confused by the whole thing, but it sounded stupid to me.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
okay. Go ahead.
I guess for Sally and Audra,
This is great.
what does it hurt? Yeah, well, so that's the part I'm confused about. So they have their Audra Charles, I guess, media company. Is that what it is?
Spectra Charles Media.
Yeah.
Spectra Charles. And then Newman Media they acquired Newman Media through
Billy.
that whole little
Billy
deal
gifted it
with
to
Billy.
him.
So now they're, so Adam bought it from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got whatever money that Adam gave them for the company.
Mm-hmm.
What did that hurt? It didn't hurt them at all, right?
Okay,
Like, how
so
does that damage their company?
So here is what they were trying to avoid. They were concerned that if they did not take the deal that Adam gave them, that Victor was just going to come after everything. So that includes the company that was funded by Jill and Newman Media. So they said, let's part ways with Newman Media. Therefore, my company that I originally got with Jill, I get to keep that intact because I mean, honestly, I can kind of see where they were trying to go when you peel back all of the dramatics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It eliminates Victor coming after the entire project. It also keeps the stress levels low from her because she's carrying a kid. And then at the same time, she's planning a wedding. The problem is that Victor always want to compete for his wins, and Billy not looking at this that it could impact her. He's mad that Victor was just coming after it anyway. So now you got two hotheads in the middle of this thing. But
now they're free and clear because Adam has bought the company. So
right, and that
Victor,
keeps
right?
And now that he was hoping that they got Newman Media back, that they'll just leave Sally and Audra alone, and they get to keep that company that Jill helped them finance.
I think one of the things that annoyed me was when Audra was like, "Well, I don't want Adam's money. I want to take Victor's money."
Yeah, she's stupid.
I'm like, girl, just
and see
it don't matter. It's all Newman money.
Exactly. Like, and see, it's like that's what you mean. What I said about hotheads, because you just can't say, okay, let's make a good business decision and keep war from starting, because we could lose everything. And Audra
is the same thing that happened with Tucker.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't take that company from, what was it?
Correct.
She wouldn't take it from Tucker.
Glissade.
She wanted to get it. Yeah. And she decided to just work with Victor to take it from him.
Right.
And then she got screwed anyway. And it's like, well, you make the dumbest decisions.
Because it's all about the competition and trying to win, instead of looking at this logically and say, what's the best option to save the company we do have? She'll rather fight Victor over this, thinking that she could beat him, versus saying, listen, we trying to save what we got. Let them have their little company back, and then they can go on about their business, because that's what they truly want. But if Victor had his way, he would come back and take the entire media company.
Yeah. And I'm like, Audra, you're not looking out for your friend who is pregnant. You want to try to find the less stressful way to go about this. And this is why I'm like, you got an MBA. I need to check your credentials, because they both win in the end. The person I'm more so like mad at is Adam, because I'm like, you putting yourself in the line of fire. Yeah. But on top of that, this is not going to stop Victor, because this is the pettiest man in daytime. He wants to see people crumble. Like, even with today's episode, where he was talking with Victoria, and like they did not care that they got new media. They were like, oh, okay, but how did you get it? What deal did you make? And they were more so trying to see if Adam had made a deal behind their back to try to exclude, Sally from Victor's wrath, which I'm like, so you guys just want to be bullies.
Yeah.
Right.
Because and that's why Victoria even went over to Sally's house and went over to speak with Billy and speak with Sally. Like, what was the whole purpose? If you guys got everything that you wanted, who cares how Newman Media was acquired?
Exactly.
It came out of Adam's pocket, which I wish he did say that. But now you got all these secrets and you're tiptoeing and walking on eggshells because you don't want to upset Victor. All Victor wanted to do was just go after both companies. And I still think that he's still going to go after Sally's company too, just to prove something to Billy and to Sally.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bully.
Yeah, because he was like, he liked to fight for his victories. And it's like, but you wanted, you want to crumble something in order to say, I won. And that's the same thing with Audra, and Victoria should have been, because I mean, she should have been like, you know what, we got the company back. What does it matter? But she's just as invested as well, because even though her and Adam are getting along, there's still a part of her that's like, yeah, I want to see if this man did something underhanded. And so, obviously Sally stayed on code, and Billy didn't throw Sally under the bus, because we got to talk about that part of it too. But it's like, okay, you got everything back. You got Newman back, and you got Newman Media. Take your companies and go sail into the sunset and leave everybody alone. But I don't know. Obviously, tomorrow is not a continuation of that storyline based on what you were
Tomorrow's
saying.
episode is boring.
Exactly. So we probably won't see any more after effects, and maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Who knows? But at this point, it's like, just take several seats in the fact that you got the company back. The problem is that I think he is, because I saw a spoiler that Victor is going to make Chelsea and Adam pay for what they've done.
Lord.
So
See?
what I think is he might find that out, and they think they're going to be running that company, and he probably is going to give it maybe to Claire or something, because she's in publishing, you know, and so they're probably going to be without a job. You done lost money, and you don't have a company to run.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to acquire it some way, somehow. And I'm like, why would you be mad at how your son got your other company back?
Right.
He used his own money and was trying to find a peaceful way to go about the situation. And now you want to be petty towards your son and to Chelsea over nothing. And this is why it won't surprise me if he goes after Spectre Charles too, because he just likes to see people crumble. And he's considering Sally a part of like the Abbott clan now, so it gives him even more motivation.
Yeah.
This is the same Victor who's still petty towards Jack over what happened in that hotel room.
Right. We still got, speaking of Abbott clan, we got to talk about the other side of this, because Billy did not know, and she had been wanting to tell him, but look like we got a new storyline on the horizon, which we got to talk about that too, where Billy think that there's something going on in Chancellor that Jill is hiding from him. But he was upset about that, which is why, Sally didn't say anything. Now he's mad that the gift that he gave her of Newman Media given back for money. Do you think he should be upset about that?
No. No, I'm like, you gave her the company. He got nothing to do with Spectre Charles or Newman Media. He gifted that, so it's none of his business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and so what? Like, I wish I could step in and talk to Sally and be like, look, you see who you're pregnant by. You see
Mm-hmm.
the mess that comes with this man, and you want to marry him? This is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just mad at everything now. Like, he mad at his mama over what happened with Chancellor, what, 3
And
or 4
Kane.
years ago. And Kane for giving him a job, and stuff going on once again with his mama, with Adam, even though Adam was trying to make amends. And like, this man is just mad at everything.
Right back from him if I was Kane.
Right.
That's like, you just want to argue just to be arguing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go to Kane and say, like, oh, I think Jill is hiding something. If you hire me, I'm going to look and dig into it. And Kane is like, that's not what I'm trying to hire you for. Like, see, this is what Lily and everyone was trying to warn Kane about. Like,
and he was hyper
nice
about it too, Bree. He was like, give me the contract. So I was
I'm like, he has an addiction problem, and it's Chancellor. Like, you're going to try to dig and try to find something within the Chancellor that you haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then you think Kane knows what it is, and I'm like, Nikki was running it, Victor had it. Like, you would think that they would know about it. Like, so what secret? What secret? Catherine gifted it to Jill, knowing that wasn't her daughter. So she, like, what secret?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to come up with a new storyline. This is something new.
Yeah.
That's what this is. They looked in the crates to come up with something because they're going all back in history. He was reading a biography of the whole Chancellor thing. So obviously this is a new storyline. But this guy,
he was as bad as Victor.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't see. I mean, she already lost a kid before due to a whole lot of stress. Okay, you mad that she decided to de-stress herself? She made a ton of cash with it, and decided to get this man his company back instead of having Victor come after them to take all of the both companies. And he's like, no, I'm gonna make sure I get it back. I'm like, are you serious? Sit down somewhere and catch a breath.
Like, he really needs to get a life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got a baby, and you should be planning a wedding that's supposed to be coming up in October, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So you got other stuff that you could be doing, and you're still worried about Chancellor. Like, she made a decision regarding the businesses that you gifted her. Mm-hmm. You gifted her Spectra Charles off of a napkin, and then you gifted her Newman Media because you wanted some poom poom. And she left you. Mm-hmm. And you want to get back in her good graces for that Valentine's Day, and it still didn't work until the day after. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it wasn't even his companies to even worry about. Right. And then same thing with Chancellor. It's Lily's company. So I'm like, what are you doing? And he said something stupid earlier this week, saying like, oh, I wish I could have worked with you and be your right hand instead of Audra. I'm like, you had that opportunity. Mm-hmm. You didn't want it. Mm-hmm. You were her number 2 and you left her hanging. So that's why she had to hire Audra. Mm-hmm. He'd be so stupid. I swear he's, between Nick being a temp employee, Billy is the top temp employee. He can never keep a job, keep a business, stay out of people's business, keep his head together, nothing. And this is why his mother be on him so much. It's like, why would I give you Chancellor? Like, he can't even have a good business thought process, nothing.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Something's going on with Devon. And I mean, he went off on Kane. He can't stand her, and obviously he can't stand Holden. And it seemed like he can't stand Holden for being Lily's brother. You know, I mean, he's angry. Obviously, I think there's a new storyline on the horizon for him because they're kind of it seemed like they're trying to branch off from the Mariah thing because we hear Abby saying, "Yeah, I think it's something else," or we'll hear Lily
Mm-hmm.
saying, something else is going on with Devon." So I'm wondering if there is a new storyline that maybe in that mental health arena the that the Devon character is getting involved in.
I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but it's like they keep painting him as an angry individual because a lot of the subtext is saying like, oh, he was dealing with the stuff with Dominic and he was angry about what happened. And I feel that's justified, after what happened. But I don't know why in the dialogue, every time we hear Devon, he is spazzing out on somebody and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
chewing somebody out, and we don't know where it's stemming from. So it just paints him as just this angry, toxic individual. And I hate what they're doing with Devon. Same thing I hate what they're doing with Will and like the anger and the violence stuff, but that's a whole other subject. So if they're going down like a mental health storyline, I'm like, do we really need one?
Right.
After the 50 that we just dealt with over the course of a year,
Mm-hmm.
everyone had a mental health storyline.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's especially with the way that they are leading into it. Like they're going from him coming out of a situation where his child was kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody jumped on his back about how pissed off he was at Mariah and how he wanted Mariah to pay for what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And they made him out to be the bad guy, and now we're going into this where he's just angry and nobody understands why. And it's like I think I would take this differently if he actually had some support during the kidnap storyline and everybody wasn't looking at him like he was being irrational or, just cruel for no reason to Mariah. But I hate the way this is being framed because they have made him out to be just this, like Brie was saying, just this angry guy, and everybody is acting like they don't understand why. And it's like, you guys couldn't even give this man grace
Mm-hmm.
when there was a reason behind his anger and behind why he was upset. He couldn't even get grace then. So whatever they come up with now, it's like I don't even want to hear it. I don't care because
Mm-hmm.
you're just throwing anything at the wall now to um to try to paint him as this angry
Angry
man.
individual. I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
hate that. And even his wife is doing that. Gail
Mm-hmm.
Lewis says, I think Abby and Devon's marriage may not last. You saw from the previews.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Daniel.
Child
And
Daniel once again with a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
all up in the
he can't help.
business.
He can't help himself, and Abby can never stay faithful to not one man that she's been with. So we know who's going to cheat in that relationship. So I guess we get the new
Oh no.
pairing. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have a little faith in Abby and believe that she's not gonna actually cheat on Devon this time.
girl, you got more faith than I do. I mean, keep in mind, Daniel doesn't have a job. He is leeching onto anybody. Like Abby's a whole heiress, so he gonna be set for life. He's got to just stay just a little bit closer to her. Plus, they dated before, so he knows what he's working with.
I'm just hoping. Like I would hate to see, because this is the first time Devon and Abby have had a real fight, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's a fight. It's just like issues. I would hate if they turn this into their very first issue and they get divorced. Like, it's not like Devon and Abby are on screen very often. I think they could write this story to where there's bumps in the road, but they end up having to work it out. Like, they don't need to write Abby as a cheater again, or Devon, which she don't have anybody to cheat with in the first place. But
See,
I guess we'll see.
but we know Abby does. I mean, look, we know Daniel's not getting a check from nobody. He ain't playing the guitar with nobody. He needs something to do. He gonna latch on and be a side dude as long as the check clear. So I see it happening.
I was cracking up when I saw that preview and the preview of him asking Abby if she needed somebody to talk to or whatever it was. I'm like, they got this. Is this all the Daniel is good for now?
Right.
Getting with
Then
family
Consoling
started to
members,
cry
people.
on.
Right. Yeah.
just
Oh
latching
man,
on, just going from three what three shirts, going from coffee house to society, just sitting there, just waiting to be the shoulder.
back to back storylines of him
Mm-hmm.
trying to push up on somebody's wife.
Right.
Mm-hmm. See, it's like it will not surprise me. She gonna lean on to somebody, and we actually saw them, I think, a month or so ago, where she reached out to Daniel and said, like, "Hey, something's going on with Devon. Like, am I going crazy?" And he's like, "No, Mariah, she deserves a second chance." And he was basically team Mariah and Tessa and trying to, get Abby on board and everything. So they already had that dialogue. So he's gonna be the shoulder for her to cry on. And she gonna spread them legs wide open for him and lose another marriage. Because that's all she's done.
Mm-mm-mm. Yep. So, okay. And then did you say your piece, Bree, about Sienna?
I,
I know you kind of touched
so
on it a little bit.
yeah, I'm like, she too wishy-washy for me. That's why it's hard for me to like the character, because I'm like, you got to stand on something. It's like she's with Noah. She's one way with Noah, and then she wants to act all jealous when it comes to Audra. And then
Mm-hmm.
when she's with Matt Clark, you say that you're scared, but you have no problem serving this man drinks. He's been to the bar like at least a few times. You are allowing this man to touch you. You guys are having these deep conversations about what happened within your marriage, and there's a little subtle flirtation, and then you're caping for this man in front of everybody else. Is it like, oh, I see that he's changed, and so then why don't you stand on that? Because when he was in your face and he was getting chewed out by everyone at the bar, she was just quiet. But when he left, then you want to cape for him, and it's like, pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she also had dialogue where she said, "Oh, I didn't know that he was part of the pill ring and whatnot." But she had dialogue with Noah saying that she knew about it and she didn't like it because of what happened with her brother. So I don't know if it's a writer's flaw, but they make this character very wishy-washy. And I just don't understand, like, do you forgive your ex-husband? Are you going to be jealous when you see him with Phyllis going forward? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. And then and the fact that you got Sharon caping for Sienna is just odd. And they're still living over there at Sharon's house still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Which is
weird.
weird.
Right.
Yeah. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was wondering because I know y'all had separate things. I know Bree had kind of touched. I mean, Keisha kind of touched on the whole thing with Phyllis, and I know she had. I wanted to give her a say on that, and I know you had talked about Sienna. So yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
only other thing left is the situation with Nikki not getting her eyesight back.
Yeah. That's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, because that's a devastating circumstance to be in. And I see a lot of people within the special needs realm, because my son has special needs, and that's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And in tomorrow's episode, I say it's boring because the entire episode focuses on Nikki, but I will say they do highlight like the fear that she's having, and like just like her being completely terrified, being in a position, being alone, which I don't know why they left her alone anyway, and being in complete darkness. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just sad to see. I was hoping, like Keish was saying, I think a couple of weeks ago, I was hoping this would be a storyline where she and Adam would bond.
Right.
That would have been
Because
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been, that would be a better storyline for Adam.
Yep.
Because his mother was blind.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the stuff that happened with Connor where he needed the cataract surgery because he risked having
Cornea?
the same issue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The cornea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like he could have been the main person to guide her. Where the kids and Victor were helping her, but the person who's seen it firsthand, like he could have been the person to help her walk her through this journey. I would have loved that.
Mm-hmm.
But we got what we got.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just very sad
It is.
thing. Javon Atkins said Daniel should get a job at the Shadow Room. Daniel is scared of a job. He hasn't had a job in what 2
Hey,
years.
girl, you say he's scared of a job.
He learned how to play the guitar for about a year. You would think that he would be at least sitting outside to play for a couple of quarters. He's not doing nothing. I don't know how he's paying his bills. He got a teenage girl. Like, I don't know what money he's living off on, but he go from 3 flannel shirts and hops from the coffee house to the GCAC to the other restaurant. And I'm like, how are you paying your bills? How are you getting any money? So this man is scared of a job. You would think he'd be okay to wash some tables and to serve some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
The Shadow Room would be the perfect environment for him too.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, he could be playing some music, but no, he gonna latch on to the heiress so he can sit like a pillow princess and have an expense account.
Mm-hmm.
He can be the babysitter to Dominic. He gonna do everything but get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, had to point that out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, they need to figure out what they're gonna do with Daniel because it's like y'all tried. He was with Lily. They tried to have him spin the block with Lily, and that didn't work. I mean, they were in hot dog costumes on a beach 100 years ago, and you thought bringing them back together was just gonna be a sweet thing. No, it didn't work. Um, and then the whole thing with Heather, I mean, then they put him with Tessa. So I don't know. So, Y&R, hopefully, like we were saying, with the changes that's going on behind the scenes, that we'll start to get different stuff.
You know what? Him getting with Abby would be the best decision for him. I mean, he don't know what his direction is. He's not trying to find a direction. I mean, this would be a win-win for him. He gets an heiress, and he gets to be part of the Newman fold since he was caping for the Newmans all of this year against his mother.
Belinda said you're hilarious, girl. She said not you saying Daniel playing his guitar in the corner for quarters.
I mean, he could be doing
It
something.
would suit him perfectly.
Okay. He didn't even want to go on tour with his daddy. I'm like, you are just avoiding any and every check.
Oh my god.
Every check. Like an unemployment check, any check. Not worried about paying not one bill.
Mm-hmm.
So him latching onto an heiress where he don't have to worry about not one bill. She owned a restaurant. He could be working at the restaurant. He not trying to do nothing. He got mad at his mother trying to offer him jobs.
Right.
Kane offering him jobs. Everyone has offered this man a job, and he just like,
because he was excited to go on the road with his dad, and that lasted like a week, and then he was like, I don't want to go. It's like, what are you doing?
Because it requires time and effort. And he spends his time getting coffee and
staying mad at his mama
meals that he can't afford.
Right. I don't know. They need hope. Like I said, maybe we'll see something different as time go on.
He's going to be a nice side dude for Abby.
Oh
That's actually his lane. That works better for him.
Lord.
She had to work, like, she give him a little expense account, so he can make sure he wears a suit and every now and again in front of Victor. I mean, he knows how to escape any questions about him getting a job and trying to be fluid throughout the city. So it works. He can be a good babysitter.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, girl.
look, it's something more than what he's doing.
I agree. And Jenna said he has the nerve to judge his mama.
His mother was at least trying to chase a job. He's trying to chase another receipt from a restaurant. Like, he needs to, like, he know how to eat. He probably had everything from off of every menu off of these restaurants. None of them, none of which he has a motivation to get a job for.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, did we cover everything?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a
Probably.
roast Daniel, but yeah.
Yeah, girl, you went on a whole thing with Daniel. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. Okay, we got to go to Bold. A
This
lot has
stupid boy.
happened. Eric get punched in the face. Katie gets disowned by her Logan sisters. Electra says never, ever, ever, ever again when it comes to Will. And Dylan was right there to pick up the pieces. And then Sheila wants back, and you know, and Steffi and Finn's life.
Mm.
All right, so
You
let's see.
remember.
Let's start with, let me see, the fight.
Well,
So I
we may as
know,
well start with Sheila, right?
well, we can knock Sheila out the way.
Because that was what maybe one episode.
Yeah.
That, that wasn't too
Yeah.
much.
All
I
right,
didn't
what
even
y'all got
remember
on
that they were
Miss
on.
on the ex Mrs. Sharp?
I hate that he flip flopped like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking
Like,
Just
about
like he does
Finn?
every time. Yeah,
like,
Mm-hmm.
stand on
every
something,
single
sir.
time.
Like, just stand on something. Like, if that's not how you feel and you're scared of your wife, I mean, she deserves some sort of honesty. Because I couldn't be laid up with a liar who is perfectly fine as forgiving the person who pew pewed them and pew pewed the family. Like, if you've forgiven them and you want her in your life, say that so I can move on and move forward in mine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about him in the spoilers. You know, he talk about how where his loyalties lie. He is lying about his loyalties. I mean, you saying one thing in one moment with Sheila, like, "Oh my God, I've already forgiven you in my heart, mom, 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 whatever," and then you come back and says, "Nope, I don't want to have nothing to do with you." And then at the same time, you keep it from Steffi what you really originally said to Sheila. It's like, dude, are you, we're waiting for you to grow a backbone.
Yeah. Not even just for his wife's sake, but for his own sake.
Sake,
I
right?
mean, like, you're a 40-year-old man. You had a grown daughter, and then you have a son. Like, you got a wife. Like, be a man about it. And then you want to catch an attitude with Sheila, which I know she's impatient and yada yada yada, but it's like he changed his old attitude. Like, he was annoyed by her, but it was just the night before you were saying, like, oh, I love you, mom, and holding her, and I've forgiven you in my heart, and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the switch up for?
This is how it happens every single time. And this is why he was stupid to even say anything to Sheila before he talked to Steffi. Because I
Yeah.
knew we all knew what Steffi was going to say, and he knew what she was going to say. They were literally just talking about Sheila that morning, and Steffi expressed how she felt about Sheila. So him standing in there saying all that stuff to Sheila, giving her all this hope, was stupid. If
Mm-hmm.
that was how he felt, he should have went home and had that conversation with Steffi first instead of giving Sheila that hope. And when he got shut down, he didn't have to worry about backtracking to Sheila because he knew he wasn't going to leave his wife. So why even Why even sit there and tell Sheila that you forgive her and that you know it's important for her to be part of a family and blah blah blah. Like that was stupid and irresponsible. He wasn't ready to leave his wife, so he should have never said any of that stuff to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it makes me, isn't the Monaco stuff this week or is it next week?
I thought it was the end of July, which is this week. So I guess we'll see.
Because they keep hinting that, like, I think Sheila in the preview said, like, what's it going to take for you to welcome me into the family, Steffi? So either something's going to happen where someone's going to get unalived, or maybe Sheila has to save another life. Maybe Steffi's life, and maybe that might be the turning point.
I don't see how,
But
because
she's
she
already
already
done
did
that.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing with this writing. It's like this is why they need to stop repeating this storyline over and over again if they're not going to make any changes to the dynamic.
Right.
Because there was the opportunity to do that with when she saved Kelly. There was the opportunity to do it when the whole Luna thing happened and she stepped in and stopped Luna from shooting Steffi.
Right.
And they didn't do any of that. I mean, um, other than have Steffi thank her,
Mm-hmm.
they still didn't change the dynamic of the relationship. So it's like that's why I was saying when this first started again, if this is not going to change the relationship at all, or somebody's not getting killed off, then we didn't need this storyline
Right. It's a
again.
waste of time.
Yeah.
So who's going to Monaco? So I know it's Steffi and Finn and Sheila, but I think Brooke and Ridge are going
Brooke and
to.
Ridge.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what if it's a situation where Sheila has to save Ridge's life? And we know how Steffi, her daddy's her prized possession.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be.
It could be. I don't know. All I
Because
know is I agree with you. What you know what you guys was just saying. It's like unless something major is going to happen, we can't keep going back to this storyline where they take a break from each other and then Finn and Sheila fighting their emotions, or Finn is fighting his emotions, and then he's back at asking Steffi. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Are they gonna break up because Finn decided that he want a relationship with his bio mom, or are you gonna cut Sheila off completely, or something bad is gonna happen? Yeah, instead of repeating the same thing over and over again.
Now I can see them actually changing things up this time because she's not with Deacon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So she has no connection to anybody other than I guess Lee now. Lee is her only
Right.
friend.
mm-hmm.
She's not married. Finn rejected her again. So uh, I mean I guess it would make sense this time if they did have Steffi after whatever happens in Monaco,
Mm-hmm.
if they did have Steffi change her mind and want to give her a chance, because then that would give her um, more avenues of a storyline or being involved in different stories, because Lee herself isn't on that much. So
Mm-hmm.
we can't really depend on that dynamic to give Sheila anything to do.
Mm-mm.
So unless they have her continuing to interact with Deacon in like this confrontational manner to give her a storyline, the only other option would be having Steffi and Finn finally like welcome her into their family. Otherwise, she's not going to be doing anything
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
unless they're getting rid of the character. And I haven't heard any rumors of
I mean,
Kimberly Brown
she
leaving the
is
show.
on this week, according to the spoilers, is that, her and Sheila is going to be having some conversations about this situation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. And
Which
then
that'll be
by
interesting to
Friday,
hear.
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that'll be interesting to see what that conversation is about, because Lee was telling Finn last week not to ruin his marriage
Mm-hmm.
and basically to stay away from her. So I wonder what she's going to say to Sheila.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Yep.
Her bestie.
Yeah, they BFFs now, so.
And I'm so weirded out by that too, still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though they both need a friend, but out of all the people to be friends with, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what Lee's dialogue is going to be with Sheila
Yeah, that's on
about Finn.
Friday when Sheila confides in Lee. And then look like there's this other weird storyline. I mean, this weird spoiler on Friday where Steffi considers the risk of Sheila's return. Why is she considering it? I thought she was hard pressed against it. So is she having second thoughts? Is this where we get to lead into the Monaco stuff? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well,
I
maybe she
mean, we
was.
can't trust bold spoilers half the time. It could be a play on words or something.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just never know. All right, we got to talk about this mess that's going on over at Bikini because, and I know it's been some back and forth. That was a huge episode last Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it was, when they told her to stay away. They had their couture line drop. They did the whole thing through a streaming service. And of course, Eric got sidetracked. Now, that happened on Monday, didn't it? Or was that the previous week?
Where he got knocked out.
No, not the knock before, because they celebrated over at Bikini after the drop of the couture line. But before that, Eric spazzed out because of that reporter.
Oh,
Yeah, that was last week.
Was
That
it?
was last week. I think it was either I believe it was the Thursday's episode because that's the couture line had dropped, and I think that Friday they had that confrontation.
Okay.
Something like that. It's between the Thursday and Friday episode.
Okay.
But then carrying over to what happened, um, we know Brooke is back and everything, but I hated that this happened.
No, that was on Monday. There it go. Eric unravels in front of the world. That was Monday,
Okay.
July 20th. I thought that was the beginning of the week. It was the
Oh,
same
okay.
episode with the Sheila rejection.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, to start with that, I'm like, they were stupid for putting Eric on like that.
yeah.
I mean, and they have control over what questions the reporter's allowed to ask. I mean, if they want to give like a sanitized version of, their thoughts about what happened with Logan and they want to focus on the couture, they can say like, oh, you cannot ask this question, you cannot ask this. And on top of that, where was the PR team?
Right. Oh, yeah. I remember they outsourced it. Where were they?
I guess they outside the building. They weren't there that day. But this man still refuses to take any accountability for his actions. He keeps saying, I was taken advantage of. No. You walked into the door, you had your designs, you wanted to teach your son a lesson, which it's okay. It is own what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And he refuses to do so. Now, the only thing that I was like I gave Katie and Hope a chance. They were a part of my business for a long time. He didn't have to give those ladies an opportunity. So I understand the frustration with that. But everything else saying that, oh, they stole my designs, they mistreated me, and then saying that they're nothing like they're just like Spectra. I'm like, I mean, don't disrespect Sally Spectra like that.
Yeah.
Okay, she made it a whole art form and she made millions of dollars over duping you guys. And this is not the only person who has walked away from Forrester. There's been plenty of other designers, other people who either started their own line or jumped over to the other side. Thomas did that. Brooke did it. Ridge did this. when he went over to Spectra, and I think he bought Spectra, or he was CEO of Spectra, or something like that. Thorne did it, Felicia did it, all these other people have done this. So it's nothing new. At least it shouldn't be to Eric. So I'm not understanding why he just can't take it on the chin and just move on and move forward if his designs are that great, which they were ugly, by the way.
Yeah, I my thing is with that couture line, and I even said this. I think I did a standalone video about this too. Not sure, but um, is the fact that I'm used to seeing couture with Forrester in gowns and showstoppers look like they dialed their styles back to try to compete with Logan instead of doing their bread and butter and what they normally do with the glamour and the sophistication and all of the things that we've normally seen year after year on the runway on Bold and the Beautiful with couture gowns. This looked like that they were trying to actually compete with Logan directly.
Did they really compete?
But I'm saying that's what it looked like they tried to, because of the fact that I mean, what? Okay, think about the dresses that Deke made. You know, they had a lot of headwear and headbands, and it wasn't the couture gowns that we normally would see with the long train and all of that stuff, right? So when they decided to do their line, and when I was looking for something totally opposite, which is the ball gowns or the
Yeah,
the bling and all that stuff, and all they did was look like they tried to say, hey, we're going to do what they're doing and we can do it better. It's like, no, do what you normally do.
right. The stuff that he gave Katie was far better than what
Mm-hmm.
he did for his own company. I mean, and the thing is, Deke's designs, they were mid. They were okay. There was a couple of cute pieces, but it looked way better than stuff that we saw over at Forrester. And you would think they would try to find a way to make the clothes sound cuter, but it's like, oh, this is Eric's best work. If this is his best work, he need to retire.
Yeah, they just gassing him up because we've seen much better than that.
Yeah, but if this is his best work yet, and this is supposed to be the most expensive
Right,
collection,
right.
why does it look like, I mean, you can get that online for at least $12 on sale from Temu, from Shein, from Fashion Nova.
Oh my
I mean,
God, girl, you're crazy.
look, you can get 4 for 20 of those
You
gowns.
talking about 4 for 20?
Look, they did. It did not look expensive to me, and on top of it, the models even looked like they wanted to wear the gowns.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh, look at this ugly stuff I gotta wear.
Yeah, I don't. It's just the mere fact that they was sitting up there and they was like, "Oh yeah, this is your best work," and I'm like, "Where? That right there?" Yeah, okay. But then it comes down, because I want to make sure we get back on that particular, because we got a lot of stuff to cover with Bowl. Um, the whole thing with him spazzing out about they stole from us and they did this, and my thing is Steffi tried to say, hey, I think we need to get in front of this, and Ridge with his dumb behind talking about he got this. No, he don't got this. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's like and I even said this, Ridge and Eric are not good business people. They're designers. Pretty much the only person that's doing the business is Steffi
And Carter,
and Carter.
because he's COO.
And they'll
Exactly.
be wanting to listen to either one of them at the
Nope,
time.
they don't. There's no way knowing that with all of the volatility in the air between Spencer and Logan, that reporter is going to do her job. which is to
Mm-hmm.
get the salacious information. And to think that you were going to skate by that, you need somebody in front of the camera who can actually keep the focus on Forrester, and we're not going to have a conversation about Logan or what happened or who stole who and all this other nonsense. But no, they thought that he could handle it and he didn't. They should have listened to
Mm-hmm.
Steffi when Steffi said, I think we need to pull him. I think maybe we need to. And he like, nope. But y'all should have. Y'all are the CEOs of the company. Why not? He could have had a little bit of a stint to say, hey, my designs was this, that, and the third. But the rest of those questions about your business, that should have been handled by Steffi and Ridge. Y'all the co
Yeah.
Yeah.
CEOs.
I mean, it was already bad enough. They had to just air it online. Like, they could have had buyers and everything there, their actual audience, and focus on the fashion show, because it seems like it only delayed for like 48 hours.
Right.
Talking about like, oh, we had to put things off, we had to do this, and it didn't even take that long. So, I mean, the fact that you had to air it online, you had the one reporter, and then you still screw it up. I think Eric was mad because he knew those designs were ugly too.
What you
They
get?
gassed him up
Yes,
knowing
they
these
did.
designs were
They
ugly.
definitely gassed him up. What you got, Keish?
um, nothing really. I feel like the designs that Deke put on the runway and the designs that Eric put on the runway are at two very opposite ends of the spectrum. As far as I feel like Deke, at least the way they accessorized, did way too much, and Eric's was just like super plain Jane.
Like blase blah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so they were both underwhelming to me as far as designs go, but
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you guys. Whereas when Eric was being interviewed by that reporter, that should have been either Steffi or Ridge, not him, because he clearly could not control his emotions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He was just mad. He knew them that they were ugly. You can,
Yeah.
like somebody said in the chat, you can get those at Marshalls.
Uh.
We have seen those dresses before, and I mean, who is really going to wear those? Where are you going to wear those dresses to?
Right.
Like, the makeup didn't even look good in it. One of the girls could not walk in those dresses at all. They were not happy to be up in them. Like, they gassed this whole line up and saying that, oh, this is the most expensive, most incredible collection that Eric had, and this is his welcome back to the company. And they should have just let him retire. I'm like, Ridge did the right thing by retiring this man. I see
Yeah.
why.
Mm-hmm.
I see why. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
forgive Ridge. We see why he did that.
Yep. All right. So now that's all over, and they pretty much gave more notoriety, which Bill was basking in that fact because he understand how media works. Sometimes bad publicity is also just publicity. It keeps your name relevant. So he was happier, even though Eric was saying all those crazy things about him. He didn't care. Which leads over to Bikini. So Will was already there,
Mhm.
and then um, Electra and RJ and Eric decides to go over to Bikini too. Why didn't y'all just go to Irjadino?
Yeah.
Right.
Or, I mean, they got mansions, so you couldn't have like a personal chef put like a little dinner together for you guys. You just had to go to Bikini.
Right.
Right.
And
And
my
it was just the three of them. It's not like they had a big group of people with them.
right, you could have easily pick up and leave, and Electra saw Will there, had a whole conversation with him quickly. And of course, RJ is mad. He decides that you need to stay away from him. Now, I will say that because there was also the dialogue that was at the beach house where Katie tried to, Um, but that was after the fact. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that was
yeah, that was
after.
after. But RJ was trying his best to provoke this guy. I mean, he pushed
Mm-hmm.
him 3, 4 times
Yep.
to get him to react. Now, do you think, as here's a question, do you think this could have been prevented and Eric should have did something differently?
Yes, it could have been prevented.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been prevented if RJ had minded his business instead of trying to control where Will was going and who he was going to talk to. Because there wasn't a single time Electra said, "Stay away from me, Will. I don't want to talk to you."
Correct.
When she walked away from them, she said, "I'm going to go check on Eric. Don't make a scene."
Yep.
She never told Will to get away from her, or she never told him, "I don't want to talk to you anymore," at that point. So RJ had no business. He What he did was he continued to step in front of Will and put his hands on him and push him back every time Will tried to walk past him. So RJ provoked that whole thing, instigated that whole thing, even speaking to him after Electra walked away. Why didn't you just walk away with Electra? But he didn't. He stood there and he continued to antagonize RJ. RJ didn't say a word to him. So this was RJ's fault.
Mm. I
Mm,
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, because the fact of the matter, they was there. You don't want Electra to be anywhere near Will Spencer. Y'all, all three of y'all saw that man sitting there. Take a hike.
Yeah.
especially for me, Electra. She's the first one who saw him, and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go over to the bar. You know this boy is going to come to you. Every time he comes to you, it always brings some type of confrontation. And I think she knows that. I think she likes that. Because she should have been the main person to say, like, hey, I see Will over there. Let's go someplace else. Because they just sat down.
Right.
But you wanted to stay. You wanted to go to the bar. You knew that boy was going to come to you. She absolutely loves when this boy begs for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had the other one begging for her. She knew exactly what she was doing. She had the ability to walk away, to gather them all up and say, like, hey, I want to go someplace else. I don't want to cause a scene. Let's just go. She could have done that, but she goes to the bar, wants to talk to Dylan. She was waiting for that boy to come to her.
Yep.
But you know what? I'm not even going to put this on Electra because RJ still did not need to get up and go over there, regardless of if Electra was over there at the bar and Will came over to talk to her. RJ's problem is that he insists on inserting himself in anything that has to do with Will and Electra. Didn't nobody tell him to go over there, but Eric and himself, like he always does. So Electra is an adult. She could have handled that situation, and he didn't need to get up and go over there and try to put himself in the middle of them. Will wasn't being aggressive with her. He wasn't yelling at her. All he was doing was talking to her and asking, for her if they could go somewhere and have a conversation. And here he comes. So I can't even blame Electra for that. Now, do I think she enjoys the attention? Yes, but it's not her fault that RJ got up and put himself in the middle. That's RJ being his old arrogant, for whatever reason, possessive over somebody that's not even his self.
I I agree with that. And this is where I also wish Will had some self control because he didn't need to go over to the bar and talk to that girl. Because how many times is she going to keep shutting you down? How many times are you going to keep trying to cape and try to beg for this girl, and she makes you still look like a fool? You still going over to this girl asking for another chance? How many chances have you begged for this year alone? Seriously. Even since February sweeps. Actually, probably before that. Even the stuff that happened with Luna that wasn't his fault. You're still going to go over to this girl knowing that every time you go over there, it's going to bring all of the riffraff with her. You already know RJ's with her. He's gonna come and like provoke you. You already know that this is already some mess between both of the families and both the companies. I would have loved it if Will was able to walk away, or better yet, just ignore her and keep it moving, and then have this girl sit over there with Eric and RJ, that's mad that she didn't get the attention that she was asking for. But he just fed into it. He fed into Electra and he fed into RJ. And this is where I wish this boy had more self-control. Yeah, but he's choosing to also be provoked.
I don't even feel like he fed into RJ, because RJ said what he said to him and he tried to walk away and RJ pushed him. And then RJ kept talking again. He said what he said back and he tried to walk away again and RJ pushed him. So Will actually tried to walk away from RJ like 3 or 4 times, and every time RJ would push him. So I can't even say that he allowed RJ to provoke him, because Will actually did a good job of trying. He would put his hands up when RJ would push him, and he might say a few things here and there, but he still would walk away from RJ. And RJ was the one that insisted on continuing the conversation or the confrontation, putting his hands on Will, and not letting Will get past him. And after, even when he called Eric an old man, like, was it an insult? Yes, but that was only after Eric got up and insulted his father and his mother to his face. He called him an old man and he tried to walk away. And once again, RJ got even more aggressive and grabbed him up by his collar, and that's when they started fighting. So every time it was RJ putting his hands on Will and not letting Will get by him. So I don't even feel like Will, gave in to the antagonizing or let RJ get to him. RJ was the one that was the aggressor and the instigator, in my opinion, during that whole thing. Because Will only put his hands on him after RJ did it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I agree with that, but the catalyst is Electra. It's always been this girl. And it frustrates me with Will, because he shouldn't even be worried about trying to get this girl's attention after she walked out of his house, after RJ barged himself in and played victim after he got knocked out and walked away with RJ. She is the catalyst for a lot of these arguments, the catalyst for even the stuff that's going on with Eric. And him trying to step up and say, like, hey, I don't want you to be around Electra. She is getting attention in any which way, shape, or form, but mostly from Will, because he can't help himself. And I saw, like, in the comment section about anger management, I don't even think it's anger management. He needs to grow up and learn self-control, because anything in life could provoke you. It's a matter of how you handle the situation. You got to learn to walk away from certain things.
But that's what Keish was saying, is that in this particular scenario, because even RJ says, what, you're going to punch me again? And he was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. And so he tried to walk away several times. This guy...
But it didn't even need to happen had he not gone up to Electra. He could have been sitting right in his seat, talking to Deke and talking to whoever, and he could have kept it moving. They didn't need to have an interaction.
Wrong. He still did nothing wrong, though. He simply went up to his ex-girlfriend to talk to her. That's not... Now, is it annoying because Electra doesn't deserve it? It's annoying for sure. But he didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to sit in my seat simply because I'm letting RJ control my behavior or control what I do, because I'm worried about him coming over to me, because he's the one that can't control himself. I'm not going to sit in my seat because I'm worried about what RJ might do. I'm going to talk to my ex-girlfriend, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just frustrating because Electra kind of feeds into the attention that she gets. But, I mean, the boy is in love. So him getting up and going and talking to Electra was not wrong. RJ was wrong because RJ is the one who can't control himself in the situation when he sees Will and Electra talking. Nobody told RJ to get up and come over there. So, in my opinion, he's the one with the self control issue because he went
But
over there to start a fight. He went over there to antagonize, and he went over there to interrupt and get in the middle and to tell Electra what to do. Because as soon as he went over there, he was like, "I'll get the drinks. You go back over there with Granddad." Like, who are you talking to?
they both are one and the same. I agree that they both have the self-control issue, but Will is also the same person saying, like, "Oh, you need to come back with me, you need to stay with me, forget about them, tell them that you want to be with me." He does the same thing.
But it's not a
I
crime. It's not
Right, I
right.
get it's not a crime, but at some point you got to pick and choose your battles. This is like the third or fourth altercation that he's had. At
And
some
every
point,
time RJ has started it. RJ
I
started it when he showed up to Will's house. RJ
I
started it when they were in the office, in the CEO office. It's always RJ that starts it. So when does somebody tell RJ to pick and choose his battles, or tell RJ control yourself and control your anger and control where you're putting your hands? Because he's always the one, except for that one time at Bikini, RJ is always the one that starts the fight. But nobody
I
ever tells
agree.
RJ that he needs to control himself and that he needs to stay out of a situation that doesn't even concern him. This is Will and Electra's business, and he insists on putting himself in it. But somehow Will is always the one that's painted as the angry, uncontrollable. Um, you need to control how you react, and it's like uh, what people are asking Will to do is just stand there and take RJ putting his hands on him, take RJ disrespecting him, take RJ getting in his face and yelling at him, telling him what to do. And, like, that's the only thing that Will can do to satisfy everybody else.
But even his parents are telling him to walk away from certain situations. If he is triggered by even having a conversation with Electra to where he is going out of his way to try to reach out to this girl and love or not, or whatever the case is, and he knows it's going to attract the attention from RJ, you got to pick and choose your battles, walk away, or at least pick a situation
Okay,
where
let me
you're
ask
not
you a question, Bree. Walk away from whom? Are you talking about walk away from RJ or walk away from Electra?
both. You got to pick and
Well,
choose your battles. He was already sitting, relaxed, having a drink. He was already there. He chose to direct his attention to go over there to Electra. He did not have to do that. There's a time and a place for everything. And on
And
top of
RJ
that,
didn't
he's
have to
not
get
even.
up and go over there.
I
But
agree
he
with that.
did. So,
I
so why is it not on RJ to control what he's
no,
doing, inserting himself in their conversation? It would be
RJ is
different if
a
RJ was there first with Electra at the bar and Will came up and started the confrontation, but he didn't do that.
but and I get that. RJ's a weasel. He's a wimp. He deserves Electra. That I have no sympathy whatsoever for RJ. Every time he gets his butt beat, I applaud it because he deserves it. But as far as for Will, I just want better for Will.
and
And he's always putting himself into
mm,
a position to where, like you said, he's looked at as the violent one. He's looked as this aggressive one. And there's got to be a point where he has to walk away, which is what his daddy and his mother told him to do.
well, they told him
But
to
he
not.
did, right?
But if and the thing is, they said that if Electra is the problem, then he needs not to partake into that. Stop stop putting yourself in positions to where you're going to constantly argue, constantly fight, constantly do this and that. And if the center of it is Electra, you need to leave this girl alone. He wouldn't even do that. And then all of the birds are chirping around him, and you got Santa Claus trying to jump in and say, like, "Oh, your mother this, your daddy that," and he got himself knocked out. He done knocked out Santa Claus now.
Okay, so the thing is with all of this is the fact that this man obviously because they moved in together. There's been a lot going on. We had the Luna situation infiltrating their relationship. We had Ivy infiltrating their relationship, and now we got RJ infiltrating the relationship. And so this man just want, and we're on the outside looking at Electra and like, girl, you doing too much. You know you're wrong. You're the problem. The problem is he don't see her as the problem, and
Yes.
and that's what it is. Because we can say all day, especially as you know, if this was your son or somebody like that, of course we'd be like, y'all, you know, you need to kick this girl to the curb. She's doing nothing but harm. This could risk your freedom, all of this types of things. But he doesn't see it that way because he's in an emotional state. So of course he loves this woman. This woman, I mean, whatever it is that he sees, it ain't what we see. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as I agree with you, I don't think that Electra is good for him. It's still really truly no issue for him to talk to her. The problem is when all these other people, well, Luna's off the grid. We had Ivy in the middle of this mess. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
RJ being an antagonizer and always interloping. There's no way that man should have been in that man's space. You don't just walk up in
Mm-hmm.
somebody's house.
Yeah, he
You just
Arby deserved everything he got from Will for
right.
walking into that
Let
boy's
me
house.
finish. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
um, you just don't walk up in somebody's house and tell them what they can't do, what they can do. You having a conversation with your significant other, and then now I do have a problem with Electra walking out with this guy, but again, that's
Mm-hmm.
us seeing that, and we don't like it, and I get it. But in this moment, in the way that the dialogue is written, is that he obviously does not see that. He sees that he's fighting for the woman that he loves, and this is all a misunderstanding. And why don't you understand? I couldn't tell you my secrets that the family business had the hope for the future diamond and the jewelry line that Shauna Fulton has. I couldn't tell you about that. You should be able to understand. We can get past this. All of these things are going through his head. He doesn't see this as a big deal, even though Electra is making this a whole problem. And it's all because of her selfishness and what she wants in the moment. The problem with this, though, is that they got to figure that out. And I don't
Yeah.
agree with Ridge and Eric telling her an ultimatum because this
Mm-hmm.
is the problem. This is the end result of this whole thing. Them two are going to be like magnets. They're going to try to, when you try to keep people away from each other, they're going to try to get together. And that's what's happening. And even though Electra is lying to herself, because of the fact that she said, and we'll talk about the whole thing that happened in Eric's house when Katie came by there. You know, she's telling Eric and Ridge and the rest of them, yeah, I'm going to stay away from Will, when part of her do not want to stay away from Will, which is why she had the conversation at Bikini. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they need to let them talk. They need to let them figure this out. I honestly don't think Will should be with Electra. I think he should be with Dylan, but he
Mm-hmm.
don't want Dylan right now. He just don't. We can push Dylan and make every claim for Dylan to be his woman, but that ain't what he want right now. He gonna have to sit down and he's gonna have to figure this out himself. Everybody need to stay out of it, including RJ. And whatever his decision is, good or bad, he's gonna have to live with it. Now, RJ needs to stay out the way. I mean, a lot of this stuff is predicated on him because he's being an interloper. He has no business in this. This is not his relationship. This is your cousin. Let you know. I mean, y'all should have more of allegiance to each other than you have with Electra, cause that's your cousin. So
Yeah.
it's a big old mess, and I mean, at this point, at what point? And Jenna had some comments in there because she was saying that, at what point does Will have to be perfect? And he's under a lot of scrutiny right now because the way they make him look as a villain.
Mhm.
Yes. And that's the part that I'm trying to say, that I hate how, because I saw a lot of comments saying that he is a violent person, he has an alcohol problem, he's turning into an abuser. I did not want this for this character. And I don't understand like why Brad Bell is going this direction, because I do agree with you guys. He's trying to defend himself. I agree. My thing is, what I wished for is for him to kind of pick and choose your battles so you won't be put into this position. But you got people who are provoking you, and it's like you can't help yourself. But if the catalyst is this girl, then you need to X out the girl if that's the case. But I, for the life of me, will never understand Elektra for never checking RJ for his actions. Because after Santa Claus was knocked down and Taylor took him to the hospital, this girl and RJ chose to stay in bikini to keep forcing the issue. And I'm like, if you guys were so butthurt over what happened with Eric, why didn't you guys leave? And then RJ knocks out Will, or knocks him to the ground. And what did Elektra do? Nothing. So she's just...
They all said that he was justified.
Yep, even Brooke.
When he made it back to the house. What was justified? You were trying to protect your grandfather, and it's like he punched him. What, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after. Like, that's not justified, and it's not like Will purposely hit him. So, I just...
Yeah, and the girl that Will is trying to cape for and trying to beg for is still siding with the guy who keeps provoking you.
Yep.
And this is why I'm like, out of all the things that he could have done that day, you still gonna go over to this girl and beg to be with this girl, knowing that she's gonna ride pretty much for your enemy, who has no problem putting his hands on you, and no one's ever checking him, but is looking at you now as a villain because you defend yourself. That's what I'm saying. I did not want this for Will. And I would rather for him to pick and choose his battles and at least walk away, or at least not engage with Elektra. But I know it's a soap. But this is why this girl is toxic, and she's problematic, and she is drunk off of attention. What type of girl just sits there and stays at the bar and still looks at this guy as the villain and as the abuser and a violent person, and you're not going to go with Eric to see if he's okay? You're choosing to stay at the bar? Why? Like, we know why RJ stayed, because he's a punk and he's a weasel. But Elektra, this is the same girl you're trying to chase after, and he's not recognizing that, and that's frustrating to me.
The thing that frustrates me most about this writing is I feel like no matter what Will does, the end result is going to be him like this was defending himself, but still being painted as the bad guy. And that's the part of the writing that I don't understand. Like, if they wanted, because like you said, nobody is correcting RJ. Everybody is excusing what RJ is doing, or just completely ignoring it altogether and focusing on Will. It's like the throw the rock and hide your hand thing is what's happening with RJ. And I don't understand the show's point of writing it this way. Like, why not just write Will as someone who has anger issues, instead of the audience clearly seeing that RJ is the antagonist? Everybody at Bikini saw RJ was the antagonist, and still Will is the one that is being painted as the bad guy, being painted as the one that is starting trouble or can't control himself. When we literally saw this man try to walk away from RJ multiple times, and RJ wouldn't let him. And we can't even have Elektra speak up and say, well, RJ did come over and start the confrontation, or RJ Will was trying to walk away from RJ and RJ wouldn't let him. Nobody is saying that. And I don't understand why, because we all saw it clear as day. Everybody at the bar saw it clear as day. But it's not being expressed in a way to where anybody is defending Will. And I don't
Jewel,
get it.
Jewel C3089 said Electra doesn't love him. I agree. She never supports him. I agree. She listens to everybody but Will. Writers, please let Will move on. I highly agree with that. That is a fact. That girl sat in that house, at Eric's house, quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is supposed to be the man that she loves. And Will's own aunties are trashing him and then saying that RJ was justified for assaulting him. His own aunties. And this girl's over there for the past, 2 episodes that week, sitting there quiet, pouting, just quiet. She has no problem sitting there playing victim. She has no problem with them trashing Will, and they have no problem. She has no problem with them justifying RJ for his actions. And I'm like, this is the girl you're fighting for. She is plain old toxic.
Yeah, she never calls RJ out, and say, "Hey, don't do that." And that's supposed to be somebody that you hold. She hold him at a whole different standard. It seems because you can get mad at Will for, like, even when they were at the house, and Electra was like, "Why did you do this?" He was like, "This man is in my house. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to protect my house. He's my
Right.
cousin, yes, but he's in my house." That meant nothing to her. She don't care about this man. I still think that she got an issue with this whole situation of what happened with Luna and the way, because it kept, it's been painted, and I mean, sometimes we heard her say, "Well, I mean, she did take advantage of him," but I don't know. It's just something missing when it comes to how she feels about him. Or maybe she's just a control. They want to make her out to be a controlling individual because she's trying to control her relationship with Dylan. She wants to control the relationship with Will, but she never put rules and stipulations on RJ about what he
At
should
all.
and should not do.
And
Nobody
apparently,
does.
Nobody does.
none of the Forrester family tends to do that either. I was very disappointed at what happened at that house.
Yeah, we got to talk
Yeah.
about that too. But
Which
mhm.
I'm like I would be curious to see if they even let Deke, or not Deke, well, maybe even Deke too, but like Deacon and Taylor, if they even allowed them to share, if there's we get a scene of them telling what happened at Bikini, to see how they would describe it.
Mhm.
Because if they completely isolate them from the story and we don't hear, maybe Taylor talking to Ridge about what she saw, what she witnessed while she was there, or Deacon talking to, I don't know, Katie about what he saw, and explaining like literally what the audience, like what we saw as the audience, because we know that it wasn't Will that started it. If if they don't allow that conversation to happen, then it's clear that they're just, the way that they are pushing this whole thing is just for this plot of Will being this angry man. And that's what frustrates me about this, is that they just won't write him being an angry man. If that's what you want, like, don't show us one thing and then have the character say something completely different, opposite of what happened. Like,
Mhm.
why are you trying to gaslight the audience? That is one of my biggest pet peeves as a viewer watching this show, is when they are purposely trying to gaslight the audience and they don't even correct it on screen. Like, that's just how they're going to tell the story. And it's like, why not just write the story the way that you have the characters describing situations that happen? I don't understand that.
You know what? Quiche is, they know, because here's the thing. We heard
Mm-hmm.
RJ admit it twice that it was an accident. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows, and I think the Foresters knows, but because they're so angry with the Spencers, they want to paint it as he was assaulting. Like it was all the way that they're painting this is if Will saw Eric, walked up to him, and purposefully punched him in the face.
Right.
When technically this was a fight started by RJ, because we might as well move into that because they had a conversation at the house, when they were sitting amongst before Katie got there. RJ tried to take accountability. He was like, you know what, Grandpa, this is my fault. I was going back and forth. And Eric removed the accountability. He said, no, it's
Mm-hmm.
not your fault.
No surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just innocent over there. And I hate that they're painting Will out to be like this violent person when we got, and the fact that Brooke was like, oh, well, you were justified in what you did. You were trying to stand up for your grandfather. It's not surprising that both Brooke and Ridge are justifying this, given the fact that Brooke had slapped Katie, 2 weeks ago, and like the week before we saw Ridge punch
Bill.
Bill. So he's going to come from two raggedy people who are going to justify this boy's actions. I was surprised that he even wanted to take any form of accountability for his actions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give him too much credit because he
not too much credit.
It
give
was
him
very
2%.
flimsy.
We'll give him 2%.
Yeah, that's about all he'll get from me because it was super flimsy. Because later on he said something about I don't care if it was an accident or not about RJ punching.
Who
Eric.
said that? Ridge?
RJ said that.
Oh, yeah, RJ did say that today, I think it was, right?
I don't care if it was that today.
It was. I know I heard him say something like that to Electra today.
But it's like, even saying that, you don't care if it was an accident or not. It's like, well, then you're just looking for any reason to
fight.
Yeah, because you know it was an accident, but
Right.
you're still gonna treat him like he did it on purpose,
Right.
regardless.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Then Katie. Oh, I was so upset with Katie.
Me too.
And I'm like, I see where your son gets his begging from. I see exactly where he gets his begging from.
Yeah, so might as well go into that because Katie interrupted that whole meeting.
Yeah, I am so sorry. Well, actually, before that, didn't she talk to her son?
Yes, she did.
Saying like he should have never did. She at least held her son accountable for his role in it. Whereas Brooke took all form of accountability from RJ. Like, oh, you're justified. And Katie at least was like, look, I don't care how it happened. It was an 80-year-old man. It has some self-control, yada, yada, yada. At least she was trying to parent her child.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to shed some light. Then she went over there. And the same person she was trying to defend, Eric. She's like, look, let's just put all this to the side. Eric, why don't you just admit that you went over there, you were frustrated, and that I didn't steal you, I didn't steal your designs, that, this is a mutual thing. That man sat there quiet. And then her own sister sitting next to him sat there quiet, knowing every play-by-play of what happened with Eric and Katie. And then he gets up and he walks away. And then she was like, oh, this is what you did. He walked away. You're just a coward or something like that, she said. And then Rich had a nerve to try to get in this woman's face. Say, don't talk to my dad like that. She was still in the truth.
Yep.
The Foresters have an issue with the truth.
And the thing is, they've already in the past admitted what they did with kicking him to the curb. And I remember the scene where Ridge was like, this is all my fault. I shouldn't have retired him. He wouldn't want to go over to Logan. So, I mean, they know what the truth is. They just don't want to hold that L. They want to be mad at their butt hurt, just like Victor. Their butt hurt at everything. First of all, that Katie was gifted a whole company from her husband. Brooke is jealous.
Oh yeah.
So she's butthurt about that. Number two, her daughter jumped ship. She mad about that too. The Logans, I mean, the
Mhm.
Foresters are mad about that. And then Eric is mad that because he said that was the dumbest thing I ever done going over to Logan. Okay, you need to sit with that L instead of
Yeah.
trying to make it look like it's somebody else's problem. You did that. You came, girl. There's a picture circulating where this man got on a whole disguise. Do you remember that episode?
Mm-hmm.
He got
Yes.
on a whole disguise because he came into Logan because he didn't want anybody to know it was him. So you
Like
went through
Inspector
all of
Gadget or
that.
something.
Right, he like Inspector Gadget. He had on a big old Inspector Gadget hat, trench coats, and all this other stuff, creeping over to Logan. Ain't nobody steal you. You put on a whole disguise to go over there.
Right.
So just take that
And
L. You mad. There's many reasons. I get it. Bill is a smarter businessman than some of you folks over at Forrester. Take your L, lick your wounds, but you want to take it out on Katie?
right. And I'm even upset with Donna. And this is why I get on her about like sitting there and this riding the fence. You couldn't stand up for it and check Brooke because Katie was correct. Katie was correct when it came to Eric. You couldn't check Brooke and Ridge and say like, oh, you guys are not talk to my sister like this. She was right about that in the situation, which is true. But you could have Donna just jump on a bandwagon and pretend like this man was actually they stole Eric, really, and they stole his designs, like, and then you gonna kick this woman out of your own family, which I don't know how you do that, but over the stuff that Eric had put himself in. This is just this is not even about fashion wars. This is just about violence and people being provoked. It's over these petty arguments. It's not has there's no substance for this fashion wars at all.
Mm-hmm.
We barely got fashions. And now it's to the point where you got these petty arguments and Katie's kicked out the family. I hope that's why I was saying to J Money, this needs to be her villain era. Let this be Katie's villain era and let her really seep into that and just really want to get one over on the Foresters. Let the business speak for itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think she should have went over there. I understand she wanted to apologize for her son or whatever, but they weren't hearing it. They're mad. What are you doing here? She's like, look, I'm trying to. What my son did was wrong. Blah blah blah. And I've known Eric all my life. I'm sorry about that. I want to make sure you're okay. What is wrong with that? Nothing. And
I
they,
wish that's where she would have stopped.
what you say?
I wish that's where she would have stopped. To just go over there and say you wanted to check on Eric. She heard what happened. She wanted to apologize on behalf of her son and then just left. Because while I appreciate that she was trying to parent Will, at the same time, you're completely dismissing the fact that Will didn't start it. Will tried to walk away like she said that he should have done. And RJ was the antagonist. And I feel like her going over there and doing all that groveling and apologizing on behalf of Will was another person that's absolving RJ of his role in
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that.
So it should have just stopped that. I'm sorry that Will accidentally hit you. I just wanted to come over and check to see how you were doing. And she should have just walked out after that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then you see her the top right corner of the picture right there, crying and all
Well,
begging him like,
she
oh,
wanted the
girl.
men because she was like, look, this needs to stop. We're family. I want my sisters back. Can we just fix this? And they're saying that she started the war. And I mean, Katie for a moment said, I didn't start this war, which she didn't. She ran her business. People came to her.
Mm.
It's not like she was over there at Forrester taking people. Them folks came to her.
Yeah.
Mm. I'll say this. The only mistake I feel like she made was secretly trying to work with Hope. I personally would have been upfront and I would have told Hope, like, if you want to come over here and work, you need to have a conversation with your mother and then we'll talk. But I'm not, I, and this is just me. That
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be something that I would be comfortable doing behind my sister's back, knowing that she's worked these years over there at Forster with her, and how upset that she would have been had had we done this behind her back. Now she was up front with her, and Brooke was upset about it. That's a different story. Like, that's on Brooke. She need to get over it. But I didn't agree with her doing that behind Brooke's back, knowing how it would make Brooke feel. Now, she didn't break any laws, apparently, because they're not bringing up the whole issue of Hope being an employer at Forrester while signing a contract with Spencer. That clearly is not going to be a factor in this. Um, so, other than that, no laws were broken, but it's just the whole, the idea of that's your sister. Just be honest with her and don't go behind her back. So I kind of understand Brooke being upset about that part of it, but the whole, like, her being mad about Katie naming the company Logan, like, all of that stuff is petty.
Yeah, it's stupid and petty. I was going to actually piggyback off of that. I would have I wouldn't offer Hope a contract until she fully leaves that other company.
Yep.
Because how do I know that you're fully committed to joining us if you're still got one foot in on the other company? Now you need to fully walk away before we offer you and pay you any money for anything.
Yeah.
Walk away before we offer you a contract.
That's the part I didn't understand because I'm like, why are you putting one foot in the door, one foot out the door? Once your line is released, that the Foresters are not going to deal with you.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
did you expect, even if just say she did that because she said, well, let me see what my line do, right? And the line flopped. Just say it was a bust, it didn't sell anything or whatever, right? The Forester still wouldn't let you come back because of what you did. So whether it was good or bad, I don't know what she expected or how this was written, that the character should not quit Forrester and sign a contract with somebody else. When Forrester found out that you pushed the line out with a competitor, that they were going to cut ties with you anyway.
Yeah. That part never made sense to me.
That didn't make
And it never
sense to
made
me.
sense that Bill, being the brilliant businessman that he is, would allow it to happen either.
unless he already knew what was coming. Because think about it. Look at what we just said. I mean, you're going to get fired anyway, whether the line sucked or not. Because the Foresters are not going to let you, maybe later down the road. We don't know how this is going to pan out, as a long term storyline. But for right now, they're not going to let you come back over there. So I think Bill already knew that they were going to kick her to the curb.
Well, I didn't mean from that point, that aspect of it, just the legal aspect of it with the
With the
contract, like
contracts.
having her sign a contract.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. But yeah, going back to what happened, and then they went for the jugular, talking about how this make their mom feel, and Storm, and this feels just as bad as Stephen Logan leaving them as kids and all this. Okay, I'm like, can y'all be no more melodramatic?
Right.
They was going
Like, you
over
bring
that
your
with it.
daddy up into it for no reason.
This ain't nothing about a man abandoning his children. What are you talking about?
Right. And I'm like, I'm glad that she acknowledged her daddy because she keeps crying about the last name. The last name came from your daddy. Did it
Mm-hmm.
not?
Mm-hmm.
But now you want to bring your daddy up in the conversation. She can kick rocks. That's what I wish Katie would have said.
The other thing that I just, this whole thing with, and I know I keep bringing it up in each one of the standalone videos that I do, when they all keep saying Foresters and Spencers don't mix. And I'm like, why y'all keep saying that?
Because they're trying to push this rivalry plot.
Right, but I mean, Liam already then broke that whole thing wide open.
Right.
Mm.
They already mixed and mingle. Hope is raising a Forrester child. I
Where
mean,
Douglas is a Forester through Caroline with Thomas. I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
they have no problem
That's
mixing and mingling and sleeping with each other.
that's why the Will and RJ feud just feels so forced, because RJ has never had a problem with the Spencers. He's never disliked Liam before,
mm-hmm.
but Will, for whatever reason, he is putting him in the same category as Bill, personality wise, when Will has literally never done anything to anybody.
Right.
You've
Mm-hmm.
known Liam, or at least from what we've seen on screen, you've known Liam for however many years, and you've never talked about Liam that way. But for whatever reason, Will is like Bill. Why is that? Like, what has he done? Uh, The only thing that he could point to when he came back to town was allowing a homeless, an unhoused girl stay in the apartment above his garage. Oh yeah, that's really like Bill. Like, he's
Yeah,
helping
girl.
someone who is homeless, and that's
Yeah.
what you turn him into a villain because of that, instead that he's like Bill because of that, because Electra decided to get upset after it was her idea.
Okay.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's why this whole it all just feels so forced, because there was no real rivalry between them.
There's no real rivalry with the Logans and Spencers and the Foresters right now. It's all
No.
forced.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real substance, and it's supposed to be about fashion wars. And I'm like, there's no fashions. Like, nobody's fighting anything with any of the clothes that's been presented, especially on the Forester side of all that ugly mess. So instead, we got people just like hitting and assaulting each other,
Right.
For no
and
reason.
For no
that's
reason. Right. It's just people not
yeah.
taking accountability and they being butthurt because somebody did business differently than you did.
Yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
can remember back in the days of, there was an actual reason for the rivalry behind, like, Spectre and Forrester,
Mm-hmm.
or
Spectral, Jackie
um,
M.
yep, Jackie M, or I mean, even Hope and Steffi's rivalry stemmed from Ridge, and the way that Steffi felt Ridge always prioritized Brooke and her children, and it was built off of that. Or Rick and Thomas, like, there were actual, like, legitimate reasons for the foundation of those rivalries. And with RJ and Will, it was just RJ came to town and decided that he wanted to be with Electra, and just started picking at reasons why Will was a terrible person. And that's it. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
all of this is stemming from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Um, so Katie's out for now. But then in the meanwhile, so is Will. So Dylan decided that she was like, and her friend is really pushing her. I don't know, what's that girl name that was sitting at the bar talking to her and telling her, you need
I
to
don't
go
know, but
after
I
the.
like her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember what her name
yeah, I
is.
can't remember what her name was, but she, was telling her, look, hey, Electra said it's over, never, ever, ever. And so on Friday, we got that whole scene between Will and Dylan that was pretty darn hot, I must say. I mean, their
Yeah.
scenes were hotter than the ones he had with Electra.
There's a stark difference.
Stark,
Okay.
Yes, I mean, I gotta say, Sydney, that girl know how to work a love scene.
Yes, she
Mm-hmm.
does. Look, she was leaning into it like it was hot. And the fact that this boy didn't pick her up
Took her hair
and put her
down.
Yes.
on the
Wait a minute.
couch.
When you see her going kissing down the middle of his chest, I'm like, are they gonna make us think something?
Mm-hmm.
Cause she was going. I'm like, wait, where you going, girl? What you finna do?
Yeah. And he stopped
He
her and then he
stopped her and
picked
pull
her
her back
up.
up.
I was like, what? And then lifted her back up, put her on the couch, and then we were all disappointed. Today's episode where it led to nothing. They just talked and she just laid with him on the couch. I'm like, oh, that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it crazy how different Will is in scenes with her compared to scenes with Electra?
Dylan
Like
Yes.
just
is,
generally, like
yeah,
even the small things that he does with her, like he just seems so much more
relaxed,
freer, yes, and relaxed. And because he did this one little thing where she was saying in front of him, they were just talking,
laughing.
and he just puts his, yeah, he's like laughing. He just, and he does this thing where he puts his hands like
Hmm.
on the top of her head and just kind of like
Like a playful
runs down the
type of
back of
thing.
her.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just so cute. It's like I just I hate that they have her kind of like, I mean, she's pretty much begging him to be with her. And I
Hmm.
hate that they're doing that with her, but man, their chemistry is
Off the chain.
great. Yes.
Hmm.
I don't like the fact that she keeps saying, I love you. Stop saying it, girl.
Yeah, it's so
Stop.
cringy. It's so cringy.
Yeah. I'm like, just
The
let this be the
desperation.
yes. I'm like, just let it just be, getting to know each other. Let it just be this hot, this young
But
summer
didn't
love
she
thing.
also slept with RJ too, didn't she?
She didn't sleep with them.
She
Yeah,
They
I
didn't?
mean,
were,
RJ asked basically,
Okay, but
but
they
I don't
just
think they
got
ended
hot
up.
and heavy. They didn't go all the way.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
think it ended up
Okay.
happening.
And even that was hot. Jay Money was really disappointed. That didn't lead anything. He was
Yeah, she had great chemistry with him too.
yeah. And
She's
we see how
just
quickly
good
he
on when
forgot.
it comes. The girl is very salt. She's, even though she's a sweet girl,
Sultry.
she's very sultry. In a
Yeah.
romantic scene, she know how to work it.
Yes.
I would never, so when we first met her as Hayes's teacher, never in a million years would I have believed that she could pull this kind of stuff off.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
At all. I keep forgetting she was Hayes' teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how she
yeah,
started out with Luna and
yeah.
all that.
Because I remember when we found out she was coming back as the one that ran Luna over. I'm like, well, this is underwhelming. Like, why are we
And
bringing her
random.
back? We don't need her. But oh man, she was a great addition.
Yes, she
Yeah,
was. I mean, yes,
and she
she
has
is.
yeah, she has great chemistry. Even when she was talking with Wyatt
And Deke.
earlier in Deacon, like she just
Hmm.
has like this,
It's
I don't
very
know, this
natural.
natural. I like this. And you can see the difference between an unproblematic girl and a toxic one.
Yeah, well, a lot of you got a lot of men who go after. That's why we be talking about simps all the time. You got a lot of men who prefer the drama and the toxic
Yeah.
over the peace and calm, like Dylan, and it's just so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mm.
And and didn't you say in your spoiler video that he gonna beg for Electra
Right, that's
again this
coming up
week?
at the end of the week. Talking. Wait a minute, let me see.
Child,
Hold on, girl. Yeah, I think it's Friday.
child.
Yeah, Will tries to make amends with Electra on Friday.
He is a glutton for punishment. He is the
Yeah.
prince of simps. He is the prince of
You
simps
said a
this year.
prince.
He is. Well,
I'm
we know
not
who the king
even.
is.
I'm not even going to call him a simp. He's in love and he wants his girl back. I don't feel like that's him being a
Yeah,
simp.
but it's one thing.
What?
Okay, wait, Keish. Wait, hold on, girl.
Yeah.
It's one thing if there was some light at the end of the tunnel and there's a little bit of reciprocity given, but you're doing all of the work to put in to make this work and she's doing nothing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the simpantry part of it.
And she made this boy look stupid on numerous occasions. And he's still choosing to be on his knees begging for this girl. Still, there's being in love and there's being stupid.
I mean,
He lacks all common sense with this girl.
right. The
When he gets
disres
with Dylan, he's okay.
the
I would
disrespect is
agree.
insane. I mean, it should have been enough for him when he saw her kissing RJ. That should have
Yep.
been enough. The fact that this man disrespected his house and you take off and leave with him,
Mm-hmm.
that should have been
Yeah,
enough, you know?
I don't disagree with you guys that I
Okay.
feel like Will is giving her way too much um I don't know if grace is a word, but that he's doing too much to try to save this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree because I prefer him with Dylan anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like he's a simp. I feel like RJ is more of a simp than him because he's doing all of this for someone who has already rejected him once. At least in Will's case, this was his girl. They were in love. They're in love with each other, and he's got an actual reason to fight for a relationship versus RJ, who is fighting for something that he's never had and doesn't even know if he'll ever get that from a lecturer. Even though she's giving him a little bit of hope, I guess, because she
They
leaves with him anytime that there's an argument.
Will and RJ are one and the same. Their tactics are just different. RJ has no problem getting beaten up just so this girl can nurse him back to health to give him some attention. And then you
And
got
get nothing more than that from her. From her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
yeah.
getting beat up for a girl that he's getting nothing in return from, other
Yeah.
than her right now staying away from his nemesis. But
And
in Will's case, that is his actual girl or his ex girlfriend now. There was like an actual bond and relationship built. They're in love with each other. She don't have that stuff for RJ has none of that, and he's willingly getting his butt whooped every other week for this girl that he is getting nothing in return from,
Yeah,
or
but
has
this,
gotten nothing in return from.
yeah, so
Will's not getting much in return
turn
either.
either,
Because how
and
many
a whole lot of disrespect.
a lot of disrespect. How many months did this boy beg after everybody has interfered and she can't even give this man the benefit of the doubt of nothing? She takes everybody's side except for this man, and he's still going to bat and begging and begging. Because remember, he was crying outside on his patio, like, why? After her leaving after a split second, she just
No,
moved
listen,
in with this boy.
I'm not saying Will isn't stupid. I'm just saying at least there is more to the reason why he's doing it versus RJ, who has no reason at all to be doing it.
I see that. But he's still a simp after all this because he's a rich kid. He a billionaire son. And everyone keeps saying, like, it's LA. You can get any and every type of beautiful woman that you want. You have to deal with the toxicity of this one. But he's still choosing to do so. That's what makes him stupid to me. He's stupid.
No, it's
He's
kind of
simp.
like how stupid Danny is being with somebody that has been toxic to her for 30 plus years, and she still gives him the time of day.
Oh, that's a whole other.
Regardless of how horrible he is to her. So there's just you know how it goes in relationships. You can talk until you're blue in the face to somebody about how horrible the person that they're with is, and it's going to take that individual to come to the realization on their own, no matter how long it takes.
Okay,
Like
so
nobody can say anything to him about it.
the definition of a simp is someone who exhibits excessive sympathy or attention toward another person, typically to someone who does not reciprocate.
Yep.
And that is
That is
exactly
it.
what RJ is doing.
They both are.
Yeah.
But RJ literally is getting nothing from this girl. He has never had a lecture at all. Will has. So
Right,
he's
but
got
it.
a reason to fight for what the
Oh
relationship, a
man.
girl that he's in love with. RJ is literally not even, he hasn't even crossed the threshold of a relationship with her. They shared a kiss. And then she told him she's in love with Will. And he didn't got his butt whooped how many times for this girl because he wants her attention. I feel like RJ is a much bigger simp than what Will is.
Will be doing too much begging for me for this girl. Know how toxic she is.
I agree
Yeah,
with
but
you.
she's not
He
giving nothing in
does.
return. That's the thing. When you give your devotion to somebody and they're not giving it back, and you see that they're not doing it, and you continue to still do it, that's where it becomes on that whole thing with being a simp. And at this point, especially since they're not even in a relationship at this point,
Mm,
you know what I mean? I mean, it's one thing if he was doing that and she's like, I'm going to sneak around and see you. I don't care what Eric says. I want to be with you. No, she's openly saying, I don't want to have anything to do with you. It's over. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. He's always the problem. And he is just continuously begging and pleading and let's do this. And I want to get back with you. And she's just like, nope, 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 nope,
And she
nope.
walked away with RJ for
RJ.
the second time.
There's one benefit, at least, that RJ is getting is the lack of accountability. Because she never holds him accountable either, whereas she give all of the accountability on to Will.
Even when it's not his fault. But yeah, he gonna still beg for this girl later on this week. I'm like, yeah, he
Yeah, that Friday spoiler got me. I was like, what? You got a girl right in front of you who's willing to. She even said, you ain't got to be perfect for me. Just be yourself.
mm-mm.
mm-hmm.
And she was like, you know, I know what you did was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened, but it was a mistake. I'm not gonna put any, you know, control mechanisms on you, none of that type of thing. And he's just like, yeah, I can't promise anything. I mean, hey, you wanna give up the box? Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm gonna still by the end of the week go back and beg for Electra's forgiveness. How many times people gotta tell you no?
Exactly. Apparently not enough for this boy. That's why it's sad to see.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Right quick, I know we didn't spend the hour and a half on Bowl, but it was a lot to cover. Today's episode, we also had this the confrontation between Steffi and Hope.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, they both gave as good as they got. I know I was seeing online saying like, "Oh, Hope roasted Steffi." I'm like, nah, it was balanced because Steffi did hold some accountability to Hope for her ego and a lot of different things, and then at least Hope was like, "Look, I did what I did. I moved on. What else do we have to talk about?" So it was balanced for me.
I was annoyed that Steffi even went over there and basically she's showing Hope that she's bothered.
Yep. I was.
I would have preferred Steffi to be the one at Forrester that's not freaking out like everybody else is and telling everybody, look, she's over at Logan now. We're gonna move on. We can pitch a new line with Zende or something like that. I needed her to be the one at Forrester, kind of boosting everybody's confidence, making just trying to make sure that everybody knows that they're going to be fine without Hope. And I felt like her going over there, even though I agreed with a lot of the stuff that she said to Hope, as far as why couldn't you just be honest and upfront with us and tell us that you got an offer somewhere else, or some of the other things that she said to Hope. I 1000% agreed. I just didn't like that she went over to Hope and sought her out to have the conversation. Like, girl, you're running an entire $1 billion fashion house. Going over there makes
Yeah.
it look like you need hope. In
Yeah.
my opinion, it felt like, to me, it just felt like you're over there because you're just so distraught and upset that she left, and you're showing hope, which is what Hope loves. She loves for people to fuss over her, and to me, that felt like she was showing Hope that they're a mess over there because she left and they don't know what to do with themselves at Forrester now
Yeah. I
because
did
of the
not
hole
like
that
that.
she left. So,
I did not like that part of the dialogue, but she hit the point where, like, hope for the future is more than just about you. You left the people that were under
yeah.
you, that were working for you on your line, in a lurch.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave no warning, and you not weren't thinking about the livelihoods of those people when you did that. And you were impatient. You thought about yourself and not realize this is a business and there's a certain timeline for things. That is all true. She was impatient. Yeah. And you would think that she would be the most patient after the stuff that happened with the coup. And also, she also, as Seth hit on the point, like the people who were for you, like Carter, who helped get her line back, and then Zende, who was always there to be her designer and was really writing for her, her mother, all these different people, Eric, who kept her employed since she was a teenager, all of those people that she left in the lurch. So I get that aspect of it. Maybe she wanted to get her chest off of that. But the dialogue saying, like, now we have to clean up and pick up the pieces, it happens in business all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is why I hate how the Foresters are acting like, why are you so worried about the startup if you've been in business for 50 years?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the same thing Bill said to Ridge when he came over there. You know, it's like we're just a little startup. Why are you
Why
so
do you care
bothered
so
by that?
much?
Yeah, why do you care
Yeah.
so much? Like you said, Keish. I mean, seriously. And Steffi did need to go over there. By the way, I gotta say, Spencer need to get security at the lower level because people are just walking in over there. Brooke did it and
Okay.
Steffi did it, and they get right
Steffi's done
past
it twice
Allison,
now.
huh?
Steffi's done it twice now.
Yeah,
Right, you
she
know,
sure
it's
did.
yeah, cause she did come over there trying to find out who the designer was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do anybody stop the Foresters from just coming up in y'all building?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
It,
man, that's crazy.
but it's like you have both of the CEOs who's showing up over at Logan now. Because it
Mm-hmm.
was Ridge and now Steffi who showed up twice. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you guys have been in business for 50 years. And if you have a particular clientele that you appeal to, then why would we even be focused on this startup like
Right.
this?
Right.
Like, most startups fail because eventually Logan's going to fail. Eventually, they're going to go back over to Forrester. That's eventually where all this is going to lead to.
I'm
It's going to
hoping
lead to
that
that.
with the new, you know, because remember they moved to the new studio and all this extra space. I hope they keep them around for a
I
while.
do too.
And I mean, we already heard Hope on the phone talking about the next line. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
They
we
need
need that. We
another
don't
fashion
need
house
just
on this show.
what you say.
We need a second fashion house on this show. This
Exactly.
doesn't need to be a, a one time storyline and then they go away. Like, this show needs another fashion house bad.
Yeah, just like on
Yeah,
YNR, you got multiple companies. I mean, you got Jabot, you got Chancellor, you got Newman, you got now Sally, and you got multiple companies over there. Why we only need just Forrester over here?
Mm-hmm.
but you realize ever since the start of the show, every time there's a fashion house, the other fashion house loses. Same way the Newmans always win, and how we get upset about it, the Foresters are going to win.
Yeah,
Eventually,
but
we're
at
going to
least they
have
can
both.
keep their business though.
We'll see. But we
I
know
feel
how
like there were
Brad Miller.
compromises here and there. Because I remember when Steffi did it was Steffi and Sally, um, they did the competing swim lines and Spectre actually won the competition, but I think Bill lied or something like that because he didn't want the general public to know that Spectre won.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. So I think there could be times, especially because it's Katie and Hope over there, and they're not secondary characters. I think they can do something to where it switches on and off of who wins and who doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, but Dusty storyline,
Cause
or
okay, so cause let me ask you this. Just say like,
it
let's go
writes
your route.
itself at this point.
Let's go your route,
It's
Bree, where
mm-hmm.
you say okay, it doesn't last that long, and that Katie and Hope end up back over at Forrester. Something major would have to happen for them to be like, okay, y'all can come back. Cause that was that's kind of little, it's like, yeah, you do. Yeah. I was gonna say treasonous, but I don't know if I want to go that far. But go ahead.
I think what eventually is going to happen, because Brooke tugs on Hope and Katie's heartstrings. Something's going to happen to where the Logan women are going to come together always during the holiday season, and something's going to happen to Logan, the fashion line, and uh, Hope and Katie might beg for their jobs, but I don't know. Now, what I was hoping for is for Brooke to jump on the bandwagon with her sister and with her daughter.
I wish
That's what
that
needed to
too.
happen.
I wish I
So
I, I wish that would have happened. Yep.
that would
And it
have
still
more
can happen.
longevity.
It still
That
can
would
happen.
that would have more longevity for that fashion house. But with just Katie and Hope and Deke and everyone else, I just don't see that. Not that long, especially since Hope is still affected by her and her mother not speaking, and then we got Katie still begging to try to make peace and everything. Something's going to happen towards the end of the holiday season. Holiday season's right around the corner, where something's going to happen where they're going to go back to the Foresters. We know the Foresters always win on this show. We've never really seen Spectra have a real win. Same thing with Jackie M. It's just how they always do with the opposite, fashion house. And it's not me. It's Brad Bell who needs to change his thought process and give us some juicier storylines and give us, some real competition on the show
Yeah,
for
well,
the
I'm hoping
Foresters.
that this may be an opportunity for them to do that, and kind of like what
Yeah.
Keisha was saying, you know, these are legacy characters. So, I mean, it's not like when young Sally Spectra, who's now over at YNR, came and went, stuff like that. But it would be nice to have where maybe Brooke get mad at Ridge for overlooking her for a top spot or something. I don't know.
Yep.
And
And
she
it could
gets
extend it even more.
right, and then
Like,
she'd be like, "I'll never be able to go anywhere with you. I'll always be, and Steffi is always your top choice or whatever." And she gets mad and decides to go work with her sister.
yeah,
That could
like
happen.
this current storyline plays out. They could drag this current storyline out in different ways into next season or to the end of this season, and then at some point next season, maybe the middle of next year, something happens to where Brooke goes over there, and then it extends the Logan storyline out even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could easily do something like that, and it would be a change from the status quo because that's exactly what we'll go back to if they
Yeah, it'd
phase
be
Logan out.
boring all over again.
Yeah.
Well, well,
Yeah, because I mean, unless they and we don't want that tired old triangle where Steffi
Mm-mm.
start chasing after Liam again. With Hope fighting over
Or
that. That
Ridge and
is,
Brooke
or Ridge and Brooke and
and
Taylor.
Taylor.
That's so played out at this point.
but it's Brad Bell's bread and butter. That's why he keeps reusing it. And Lord, I pray that we get some fresh storylines out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But we're seeing more of the same right now. That's why they keep bringing up dialogue from like past storylines. Like, I would be okay if they did a storyline where Brooke jumped ships for whatever reason. Like, Ridge could be like circling around trying to be with Taylor, and that would give her a reason to leave Ridge and leave Forrester and go over to her sister's company. And then we got some substance. Then it will be the real Logans versus the Forresters. I can see that. But as long as Brooke is over at the Foresters are going to win. It's just how the show has been. It's not what I personally would agree with, but it's just what Brad Bell has always given us. And clearly he doesn't want to change, especially after the interview he did. He doesn't want to change.
Well, we shall see. This is what we got right now, and hopefully, they give us good stuff. So far, this
Yeah.
is definitely hitting numbers because, as crazy as it is, and we got the grades last week from, this fan base about what they thought on July sweeps. And a lot of people was like, I think one of y'all said, who was that, Keish? You said you gave it a C or a D last week?
Well,
Yeah,
I think I gave it a D.
that's what I thought. So, I mean,
I,
what you
I
say?
don't remember what I gave it. Maybe I gave it a
I
C.
gave it a
I can't.
B actually, but
Yeah, you guys gave it C's and B's.
yeah,
I was harsh on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's been rage baiting storylines. That's why they got their ratings. It's nothing with any substance. It's just rage baiting.
yeah.
It, and it got the fans kind of divided, which is what they wanted.
Mhm. Yep. So, did we cover everything?
We covered a lot.
We
Yeah.
did. It's almost 11 o'clock y'all time.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully because I try to keep it at a limit. Because I know this is a Monday night. We might as well move into Beyond the Gates. Um, what should we cover over here? We got quite a bit of stuff with Danny. Bill just won't keel over to Haley dismay. Look like there's a new storyline with Noah coming onto the scene, which Deanna is interested in.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yep. Then who is this mystery person? I'm wondering, is the Impaler guy? Somebody was saying online, does the Impaler, which obviously is Heather, have something to do with Andre?
Me and J Money were talking about that actually.
And some people
I think
online was talking about that too.
because it would make sense, and I was thinking maybe he might have witnessed a crime or something, or they were together and he witnessed something because he's scared for his face to even be on a newspaper
Right.
or in social media. And I'm like, you're a world-renowned photographer, and you don't want your face to show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he's
was
scared or
weird. He's
something.
scared of something. Yeah, so I'm curious to find out where they're going with that. Um,
Mm.
let's see. Well, Danny tried to get some folks to talk to Naomi about not having all the surgeries and stuff because she has the gene that could cause, the big C. So,
Yeah. She kind of pissed me off.
who, Danny?
Not kind of. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She she was doing to Naomi, or trying to do to Naomi, what she was fussing at Andre about with her,
Uh-huh.
because Andre was trying to talk to her about taking some precautions or considering different options to
Uh-huh.
maybe prevent cancer,
Uh-huh.
which she was against, and he backed off and respected it. But when she found out about Naomi, she's like, asking her mom to convince her otherwise, telling her that she can't do it. She needs to, it's not a good idea. She needs to reconsider. She needs to do this. She needs to do that. And it's like, you're literally trying to do to her what you were just mad at Andre for, trying to do to you. Like, it's not your body. If that's what she feels like is best for her and will make her feel better about her chances, then you trying to get people to browbeat her into changing her mind is not the move. And that's exactly why she didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Or one of the reasons why she didn't want to tell her.
And what I'll give Naomi credit for, which is rare for me, she sat on this information for months. So she had to really sit and process this decision. This is what she came up with. So I don't think she took something like a mastectomy very likely, because that is life altering, that is physically altering. There's a lot of different things, a lot of factors to consider. And she reached a decision that, hey, this is what's going to be best for me. It should be respected, because I think even Chelsea felt the same way, but she's not going overboard like Danny is. I was surprised that Bill was being very supportive. I was glad Anita was being very supportive of Naomi's decision, because no one is going to like it. Everyone's going to have their own opinions and their viewpoints, but the decision is ultimately hers.
Right.
The other aspect of it that I'm a little bit worried about is this hysterectomy possibility, because I feel that might sever her marriage. But once again, it's her decision. But if she's going through this major surgery, maybe Naomi is a mirror for Danny, and she's just not ready to look at that route to go in to protect herself. And when Andre was like talking about the photographs for the models who've had that surgery done, that's another mirror for her to look at, that she should possibly consider the surgery for her own health. And she's scared of that. She's scared of that for herself and for her child. So Danny has to deal with that, but Naomi's made her decision that she's been sitting on for months, and she had to process
that. With doctors,
consulted with surgeons, and told her husband. Her husband sat on in that meeting, so she's processed this enough to where this is not a rash decision. This is just her choice, and her mother doesn't like it. It is what it is.
Yep. So, okay. Let's see what else we had. Hold on, let me look, cause I didn't see today's.
You didn't really miss nothing today.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, other than Vanessa and Heather meeting for the first time,
but that was it. Huh?
That was it, really. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Give me a
Actually,
second.
I didn't even finish the episode, but I think I got halfway
through. Did you see it, Bree?
I think I caught like the first couple of minutes, and that was it.
Oh, okay. All right.
That happened. Nicole was in Ted's office. They were talking about him being in love with Shanice, and he brought up.
Oh yeah, that was
Kyle
on Monday.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shanice decides to follow her heart, so I guess she decided. Yeah, because she decided to tell Ted that she loved him too. They dropped that L word. And then she ended up having a conversation with Kyle, who then passed that information off to, what's that girl
name? Shanice?
No. Oh my gosh.
Nicole,
yeah.
Yeah. And then she was feeling a way about that, but I'm like, you're messing around with two guys. Well, mainly one, because we rarely see her with Carlton now. Right. It seems like Kyle's the guy that she's going to be with. And now they're adding on like his son. They're adding more to his storyline. He's a part of like a lot of family events now. So they might as well go and say that she's with Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that Ted pointed out to her today, was that Kyle is at all the family events and he's around a lot more than Carlton. He was basically asking her, like, is that who you're leaning towards? Are you falling in love with with one of them or both or whatever? And she was like, she basically told him that she's still not ready to go to that stage with either man.
Mm.
She's still just enjoying
Yeah,
herself.
but her
So
action shows otherwise. The man got a key
Yeah.
to the house. You know, I mean, like you said, they go on to functions together and stuff like that. So it's almost like
yep,
that's her boo thing. So
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I don't even know where Carlton is
yeah,
now.
I ain't. The only time I seen him is when he had a conversation with Naomi about the whole, surgery and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
that was it. We don't see him much at all. Um,
Uh-uh.
we saw Randy giving Haley a warning because she want to speed up the process and take Bill out literally.
We want her to speed up the process too. It's been almost a year now.
Yeah.
It's been a year now, and the most we've seen is him struggling to walk and him passing out. But I guess he is superhero because he's able to go back to what he was doing. Like nothing has affected him.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Nope. And she's disappointed. She want that man gone so she can collect that money and all of that. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
need them to get on with this one, especially because we'll see her talking to Randy about how disgusting Bill is and how she can't stand him. But then they'll show her acting jealous, seeming jealous of
Danny.
whether or not Bill is,
Mm-hmm.
back into Danny again. It's like, girl, why do you care?
Right.
Like, why are you sitting
What?
here picking these arguments with Bill when you can't stand him?
Right.
And that's the part of the writing that doesn't make sense to me with this story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that she's got to play the role of pretending like she is in love with Bill and cares
Mm-hmm.
about him or whatever, but that's, to me, that doesn't feel like she's playing a role. It feels like she's genuinely annoyed that Danny is still around and that he's acting like, he's falling back in love with her or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, she's doing too much
Mm-hmm.
in that area. That's why I felt like, or that's why I thought early on it was going to become a story of, she initially, this is what she wanted to do, and then she changes her mind because she actually does start falling in love with him. But then Randy gets pissed off at her because he wanted that payday, and then that was going to become her story. But they didn't go that direction. They've been dragging this poisoning out for I don't know how long now.
Almost a year now, because September is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she also did something stupid. Didn't she bring up Lynette and that lady who was running Garland? And she's like, "Oh, I fed
Yeah.
Leah. I fed the information about Leah and Lynette and their issues." And Randy was like, "So you put a target on you because, like, why are you volunteering this information?"
Right.
So she really thinks that she's smart, but clearly she's not. Bill is still alive, and he's still kicking, and he's still going over to Danny's house. Like, Bill is perfectly fine.
Yeah, Danny.
He's 6'4", and it's like nothing is affecting this man.
Yeah, this man is offering Danny to be his side chick.
And I think she would do it.
Terrible.
He was like, "We can keep doing it again. Ain't nobody got to know." I'm like,
this man has learned nothing.
Nothing.
And this is what frustrates me so much about the Danny and Bill dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were so many opportunities for them to turn things around with him because of the nastiness with which he treated her last year or last season. They could have easily built back up to him changing his ways with her, treating her with respect, and genuinely feeling like he made a mistake in the way that he treated her. Not just because he divorced her, but the way that he treated her over the 30 years of their marriage. And just having him, like, be remorseful in some way. And it's like they doubled down on his nastiness.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're doing it even more with this storyline because you're cheating on Haley. And we know that Haley is trying to kill him, so, you know, it's
Right.
whatever. But he doesn't know that. So you're cheating on Haley, so you've learned nothing about being a cheater. And not only that, you're furthering the disrespect with Danny because you're asking this woman to be your side chick. So you have learned nothing. You're even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna end up putting these two back together without him having learned anything or paying for anything. And as a matter of fact, they're making him a victim because when all this stuff comes out about Haley, he's going to be a victim of this woman who was using him and was trying to kill him.
Yep. And everybody gonna feel sorry for him.
Exactly. That's why I can't stand the character.
I mean, I get that. My issue is with Danny because she still entertains this. She enjoys all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you let this man in your house still? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still engaged in conversations? Why did you go to the hospital? Why didn't you stand your ground and say, like, hey, my daughters are over there, they'll give me an update, and it is what it is. She picked a whole fight with her husband, knowing that Andre was right. She was thinking about Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she cannot help herself. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes a side chick. I mean, technically she is. She's moving like one.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be long before they sleep with each other again. I feel that's coming up very, very soon.
Right.
Because every time they're around each other, you get that intensity and that fire, and the wheels keep spinning where she feels guilty, but she still wants to kiss this man. He knows that. After 30 years, he can probably read her like the back of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because she makes it look so easy. And I think she's going to fall for it. They're going to eventually sleep together again. Yep. My hope is that Andre actually catches this, because she's not going to be woman enough to be honest about that to Andre.
I have a sneaking suspicion that whatever this new plot line is with Andre and maybe that impaler, he's going to get in trouble with that, which is going to make it easy for Danny and one of them, either Haley's situation with the poison or this new situation with Andre being part or maybe hiding something from the impaler, is going to bail both of them out.
And here's my thing though. Regardless of what happens with Andre or what excuses used for that marriage to break up, she's still an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
If she runs back to Bill. Like, if she was single right now, she would be an idiot if she was still trying to get back with Bill, considering Bill has done nothing but disrespect this woman for 2 years now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So regardless of, even if she wasn't with Andre right now, I would be calling Danny stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes the companionship of Andre, but she knows she doesn't love this man. So I'm like, just release him. But she's going to play the side chick to Bill, and then, still use Andre for his companionship and the fact that he's going to be loyal to her, even though she will not reciprocate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to eventually get caught.
Which is crazy, because literally Bill is doing the same thing to her. He's not reciprocating the respect or love for Danny. He's using her. He's using her so he can have his cake and eat it too. Is what he's doing. Because he ain't said not a single word about leaving Haley.
Nope.
I don't care that he told Vernon that he feels like he made a mistake by divorcing Danny. His words were, I feel like I made a mistake divorcing Danny. Not, I made a mistake in the way I treated Danny over the 30 years of our marriage. He feels like he made a mistake divorcing her because he knew that he could keep her and still do his thing on the side.
Yep. And I am Leah Unfiltered. That's right. Bill only wants to rub it in Andre's face, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, he wants to mark his territory. He still feels like he's running that Danny's house, and that he can say whatever regarding Danny and jump into conversations, and she lets him.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
She never really checks him. She calls herself checking him, and then the next scene, she's laughing and carrying on with Bill and going to his office, and they're kissing and all this other stuff. So I'm like, let's go ahead and put Bill and Danny together. I'm perfectly
Mm-hmm.
fine with that. That's
Because
where
that's
she
where
wants
they're
to be.
going. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's where she wants to be. Put her
Mm-hmm.
with them,
Yep.
and then maybe she might learn her lesson.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't learn it for 30 years. She ain't gonna learn it this time. Like,
That's like the same note I have for Nikki and Victor. Like if Nikki hasn't learned by now and she still wants to go over there, leave Nikki over there with Victor.
Right.
Same thing with Danny. Leave Danny over there with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
it's too early. It's too early for that. Too early in the show for that. For her to just be stuck with this in this disrespectful, disgusting relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wants, so.
Let's see where they go with that, if they're going to push them together this soon since the series started. So, um, let me see what else. Give me a second. We talked about Bill collapsing, how we want that story to end. Oh, Kat gets upset at Eva again. So even though she gave the green light to Chelsea to do the live video talking about Eva talking about her experience with the transplant, leaving Kat's name out of it, she still is upset about it.
Speaking of territorial, I love Kat. I absolutely love her. That's my girl. But you gave Chelsea permission to talk with Eva and to talk about this online. I think she's more so upset with Chelsea's interactions and like comforting Eva and making it seem like they're buddy buddy. She's a little possessive because she was even the same way with Ted, but I understand the stuff with Ted. But Chelsea, like, I don't think Chelsea did anything wrong. You gave her permission. She asked.
Right.
She didn't have to do that. She could have let this go and she could have did a PSA and like probably talked with somebody else.
Yeah.
But you suggested it and gave her the green light to do it.
Mm-hmm. So.
See, I can call my girl out when she's wrong, but and it also shows a sign of her immaturity too, because this doesn't change her from being your best friend and your cousin. Like that one interaction she had with Eva is not going to upend everything that you had with Chelsea. So is she worried that her and Eva are going to be best friends?
I don't know
Is
what
she
that
going to
was
side with
about.
Eva?
Yeah, that was kind
I
of.
think.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
Keith.
so no, you finish.
No, that was kind of interesting to me because she did get the green light on all fronts for her to have a sit down, keep her name out of it, all of it. And then the girl get on there and she asked questions and she talk about what happened and where she from and all that. And Kat was like, "Oh my God, she get to play herself as the victim and blah blah blah." And I'm like, she was just answering the questions Chelsea asked.
And she was a victim who was injured, and you gave her a liver transplant. So at least this was justified, and she was just sharing her story. I think she's mad that Chelsea was like hugging her and like trying to like show like empathy for Eva. And imagine if that camera was still rolling and when Chelsea said like, "Oh, I see that you're still trying." Imagine if Kat heard that. That would have been World War III for her. But out of all this petty stuff that Kat's done, I thought that was a bit petty. Like, I can see if she went behind your back and did it without checking with you and seeing how you felt about it, that's one thing. But you suggested it, you gave your stipulations, I don't want my name in it, and he said, use our platform to do that. So what's the issue?
Yeah, I didn't get that part. I'm like, why is she mad? Girl, too much energy to carry. But anyway, what's your thoughts, Keish?
I saw it a little bit differently. I do think, I do think it, overall, the way Kat reacted to Chelsea, I think she overreacted. But I felt like Kat got bothered when Eva pulled out the. Well, I was hoping this would improve our relationship, or that I forget how she worded it, but she basically said something to the effect of she wanted that relationship with Kat. She didn't say Kat's name, but she said she hoped that things would change with certain people, and but it didn't, or something like that. And it was just another instance of Eva again playing that card, because Kat knew she was talking about her. Chelsea knew who she was talking about. Like, the people that know them knew who she was talking about. So it just felt like another one of those instances of, well, I want to be, I want to be sisters with Kat, but she won't accept me, poor me, kind of thing. And it's like, that wasn't even necessary to the story. She didn't need to say that at all. And it was when she said that was when Chelsea kind of put her arm around her and was comforting her. And I think that's what bothered Kat. And that was when she said something to Samantha about, do you see that? Do you see what she's doing, playing the victim, or however, whatever it was that she said? So it was like, it was that specific thing that bothered her. Not that she did the interview with Eva, but that she saw Eva using this as another opportunity to play the sympathy card against, well, Kat doesn't want a relationship with me, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I do feel like when Chelsea showed up at the club, I do feel like Kat was a little bit too hard on her. I didn't think that
Well,
was completely necessary.
according, I was looking at the recap of it. It was saying Kat was furious, convinced that Eva was faking, and Samantha. She was asking Samantha, does she think this was genuine? And Samantha thinks that it was genuine emotion. So I don't know where Kat thought that she was faking it when she was speaking everything that she lived through with that whole accident. And at one point she didn't believe in organ donation. They brought up, which a lot of people tend to think, about being used as a way to harvest all your organs, and then it happens with us or something. They really brought light to certain stereotypes about that out there, which, I ain't gonna go into that. But yeah, and then she was talking about, they brought up the fact that, a lot of people in our community need those organ donations and things like that. So I'm trying to figure out, what about what was said Kat found fake.
When she said again about how she basically that she wants a relationship with Kat, but Kat doesn't accept her. She didn't say those words explicitly. She, of course, didn't say any names, but they all knew she was talking about Kat. The family and Kat and Chelsea, they all knew who she was talking about. So that was her. She felt like that was her doing another "woe is me" situation, where, just like she's been doing for a year, telling everybody, "Well, I try to make amends with Kat, but she's not hearing it." Basically, putting it on her as to why they don't have a relationship, and it's like, girl, you need to also own your actions as to why Kat doesn't want anything to do with you. And this was and she did it. She did it again with this interview. It was just on a very subtle, didn't explicitly say Kat's name level, and that's what bothered Kat. And it's like we just talked about how you tried to, you basically was trying to gaslight people to make me look bad, and here you go again using the fact that I still don't want to have a relationship with you even after all of this. You're using that again to get sympathy from people, to get sympathy from Chelsea or anybody else in our family that's watching this, to make me look like the jerk because I still don't want a relationship with you.
So your perspective is Eva was trying to, I guess, using this opportunity where they had like a life-changing thing for the both of them to kind of wash away the stuff that she's done so she can avoid accountability. And Kat is not seeing that and is putting a stop to having any future relationship with Eva, basically.
Now, I don't think that she went into the situation with that plan at all. So no, I don't feel like that's what she was doing. I think in the moment she said that, and it came off as her once again looking for sympathy because Kat doesn't want anything to do with her. So I don't think that she went into it like using this as a way to get sympathy or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like it was a plan because she didn't even know what she was meeting Chelsea for in the first place. But I feel like she threw that in there as she was talking, and it wasn't necessary for her to talk about that aspect of the story of, well, I was hoping that this would change things between, with some people in my life, but it didn't. That was kind of how she worded it, and it's like, why did you why was that necessary? We're talking about organ donation. We're not talking about family dynamics or anything like that. We're talking about the importance of organ donation, and you had to throw that in there. So I think Kat heard that, and it triggered her. Yeah, it triggered her because it's like, here you go again, playing the poor me card, because I don't want anything to do with you still.
I'm gonna do
So,
something that I rarely do. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for Eva because she has every right to feel how she feels and say what she wants to say. And that's just her viewpoint. And I will say that when she was in the hospital, for the very first time we've ever heard this girl actually take accountability and told Kat that. So Kat is aware that she took accountability to some degree for her actions, and they were able to make some form of peace. I don't think with Eva saying, I was hoping that this would change for us to move on and move forward and have a relationship. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with her saying that. I think that she's at least being honest about that. Kat doesn't have to like it. Kat doesn't have to have a relationship with Eva for obvious reasons, and I stand by Kat. But I don't think that it's nothing for Kat to be upset with because Eva has a right to say how she feels.
so
You know,
it says back at the club, Kat and Sam watched the live stream. They use Renee instead of Kat in the story. Eva thinks it's her shot to fix things between them. Eva could only think of those whom she grew to love, the ones she hoped would love her. Kat freaks out, saying unfreaking believable. She doesn't like that Chelsea was manipulated. Samantha thinks it's real, but Kat says Eva can cry on cue. She did learn things about the organ donation, but wishes it wasn't with Eva. And then Chelsea thinks Kat's upset that Eva and Chelsea were acting like friends. Kat refuses to say, but send the kids off to the pool and mope or whatever. So that kind of my thing is you can't. I guess you can't control what a person feels or say or whatever. Um, I guess on the flip side of that, from what I'm reading here, she freaked out about the fact that Eva thought it was her shot to fix things with between the two of them. And I guess she didn't want that part to come out and wanted to stick to her speaking on the organ donation. Is that what you're saying, Keish?
Yeah, I feel like Kat didn't feel like it was necessary for her to even bring that up in this live because the live was about organ donation,
Gotcha.
and it was as if she took the opportunity to once again talk about how she wanted this to, I guess, fix things so she could have a relationship with Kat, and it triggered her. It triggered Kat because that's something that she has been telling people for a year that she's tried and she wanted to fix things with Kat, but then you're also messing around with her boyfriend. So you didn't really want to fix things with her because you wouldn't have been messing around with her boyfriend if that's the case. So I can understand how that might be triggering for Kat and feels, a little disingenuous. I'm not saying that Kat didn't overreact to Chelsea, or maybe didn't overreacted a little bit to that moment, but I can understand why Kat was triggered by it.
Gotcha.
Then why go to Eva's place to thank her for basically not taking advantage of the situation between Kat and Tomas? Like,
I don't understand that either. That was stupid.
So I'm like, if you feel a way about your sister, I mean, at least be consistent. And I don't feel that Kat has been since they left the hospital, because it's like you thank her for basically getting Tomas together, and then you give Chelsea the opportunity to use their platform to speak with Eva to talk about the donation, as long as you don't use your name in it. So the very person you don't want Tomas to be involved with and Chelsea to be involved with, you have no problem giving the okay and going to Eva and say, hey, thank you for doing that. And then also giving her a platform on your social media to talk about this stuff. But then you're still going to be mad at the fact that she's doing the very thing you gave approval for.
Yeah.
I'll say she's been consistent as far as even when she went and saw Eva, which I disagreed with. I hated that scene. Even though she went and saw Eva, she still made it clear that, uh, like, yeah, I'm thanking you, but that doesn't change things between us. I still don't want that relationship with you. We still ain't cool. So, I mean, every interaction she's had with her since the surgery, she's reminded her, like, I can say thank you. I can acknowledge, that you did something for me, or whatever the case. But I still don't want that relationship. So she's been consistent in that way, and I feel like she's in a no-win situation, because if she had said to Chelsea, I don't want you doing the interview with Eva, then she would have been called petty or possessive, or she's trying to control who has a relationship with Eva. And so she's in a no-win situation no matter what when it comes to Eva. The only way that she won't be judged is if she just basically bends the knee to Eva and accepts her as her sister, and just washes her hands of the whole thing, I should say.
Mm-hmm. How many people in the chat, Bree?
Yeah, 86.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure everybody's still hanging in there, because I know we've been at it at about 3.5 hours. So
sorry, guys.
Yeah, we can go on about Eva and Kat.
I know. I'm just making sure. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to make sure we still maintaining, as I don't see the comments moving as much. So I didn't know, what the numbers look like. Obviously, some folks just listening and not typing. So.
Oh yeah.
I hope y'all didn't fall asleep on us over there.
Right. I know it's kind of late, so it's Monday. All right. What else did we have?
We saw Heather. We talked about Heather. Deanna was helping out the homeless guy, which I guess turns out to be Kyle's son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Didn't Deanna and Joey and Vanessa have dinner that week too, or was it a week before?
I thought that was the week before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
Yeah, because I went through the list of the recaps for the week of the 20th. I didn't see that in there. I thought that was the week before.
Yeah, I think that should be it. There really wasn't much because they were talking about Naomi's storyline,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm.
Danny and her
The
foolishness, and then Haley.
poisoning. Yeah.
There really wasn't much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and that was
There
Okay.
was
it.
that awkward moment of the women at the hospital talking about men cheating. That was such a
Yeah,
weird scene.
Mm.
Because it was Madison, Ashley, Shanice, and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why do we need this?
Crazy, crazy. It's like, why are we even doing this right now?
Yeah, what is
yeah.
this for?
Yeah.
It was really cringy, especially with Shanice and Nicole. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
that's a weird dynamic. And
Right.
Nicole said, like, I was rooting for those two. I'm like,
What?
really?
Yeah, exactly. You
Okay.
were just fantasizing. What happened to that whole thing where she was fantasizing about sleeping with Ted? I guess they let that go, huh?
Thank you. I'm like, come on. Why didn't he go deep dive into that? But oh well.
I think that'll come back around, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
I
she
don't.
kept fantasizing about him while she was with Carlton, but never with Kyle.
Yeah.
And she even told Kyle that she was having fantasies about Ted. I'm like, that's a weird
Yeah.
conversation.
I just wish Carlton can be June's man. She needs a man. He needs something other than Nicole. There needs to be a fresh start for him or something. But clearly, Carlton is not the guy for her.
Mm-hmm.
There's time. There's time for him and June to. They can circle back or circle them
My
around to
thing
each other.
is, what is the dynamic they trying to do with Randy and Laura's mom? What's her name?
Oh, Mona?
Mona.
Oh, that's not her mama.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not her mom.
well,
I thought it was.
yeah, I thought it was
They just
too,
work
but
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mona and Randy. I'm like, are
don't
y'all
know. I
going
don't-
somewhere with that or what?
I'm not feeling it if they are.
Yeah.
Randy is fine. I love every time I see him, especially on his social media, and we see him work out and his back and his arms. I get why Mona looks at this man.
Yeah, but I mean, is he seeing her the same way, or is he just seeing her the nice lady that invites him to church?
I think
Right.
That's what that is.
That's what
Yeah,
I
right
think
now it feels
too.
like the nice lady that invites him to church.
Right.
Yeah. And wants
So
to get him to change and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, he ain't ready for that yet.
no,
Yeah.
he's still in them
He is
streets
far from
working.
it.
Yeah, working for Joey Armstrong. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, he likes those checks. So
Right. He doing some
essence, not gonna
nefarious
happen.
things. Plus, we still don't know what happened to Lynette, but I think she gone and Randy did something to her.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think he seemed like he was into her a little too much to off her. I think maybe he just has her hidden somewhere or told her to go somewhere. I think she gonna pop back up.
Well,
You
that
know, if
would
we
be
don't see it on screen, it
interesting.
didn't happen.
That would be very interesting. And then
But
one
you see
more.
how he?
Oh,
I was just gonna say, you see how he kind of barked at Haley about what she said about Mona.
yeah, he sure did.
He did not like that.
And then this other thing with the impaler trying to take out Smitty.
Yeah, that is interesting. Because I don't know how they're going to go about that.
Yeah, and I mean, Joey was trying to tell Heather, I'm gonna need you to stay away from that, and she like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She wants Smitty out of it because he's snooping a little bit too much.
Did they mention
Yeah.
Jacob at all?
No, she only brought up Smitty. So
because he was the investigative journalist and he has that information. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that she would want to risk attacking the police chief's son. Like, she'll go after the news reporter, but Joey is like, he's the husband of the congressman. That's just not the move you need to make.
Right.
Yeah.
And she being hard-headed, she's going to try to do it anyway. I'm just curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah. That's an interesting. I
Well,
guess that's going to be a different direction of a storyline, bringing Ashley back to the screen as the Impaler. So
was it last week when Elon and Isaiah locked horns when
well,
they
they
got
they
into
said they had a sit down this past week because Elon wanted to make amends with Isaiah, and Isaiah was kind of iffy on it. And then he
yeah,
stuck around for the conversation, and
he getting on my nerves with that. Like all that mess he was talking to Kat during the week of the transplant about forgiveness and blah blah blah. That's your sister, but here you are. You can barely even sit and have a conversation with your father, but
right.
you want to call Kat childish and selfish and petty or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, I was like, stop one. I mean, it's something. There's a distance between them, and I know, Bree and I are assuming the possibility that Joey could be his father instead of Elon,
Yes.
because there's a much more of a fatherly connection with Joey than it is with Elon. So,
There's way too much investment with Isaiah.
mm-hmm.
He even went as far as saying, like, you can tell Eva what I did and what you did and whatever makes you feel comfortable, your involvement. I'm like, this is a man who likes to keep his stuff airtight.
Right.
And you give Isaiah the ability to tell Eva this, who could tell Leslie this, and really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would that matter to you unless this is your child?
Exactly. Interesting stuff. All right, now that we cover everything.
I believe so.
Probably.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and close it out with our segments. Flip the script. Who's taking several seats? Star of the week, pickle of the week, Simple Olympics, and the Audacity Award. All right, so what you flipping on Y&R?
I really wish Adam would have kept his money and started his own business instead of getting involved with the stuff with Sally. Let that be a Sally and Billy problem. Let's Billy actually do something and protect his own woman.
Yeah, I agree with that. He should took that money and started his own business. But that was still, even though, because remember they tried that. They told Victor, you know what? Let's not worry about Newman Media. We'll start something from scratch. He was like, nope. You can do that if you want to, but I'm still going after Sally. So that was his way of trying to, you know. I agree with you. I wish he could have started that, but that didn't stop Victor though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And he wanted to stop him. So you got
He's too worried
anything?
about being part of the crew.
Right.
He's never gonna go out on his own.
Mm-mm.
He'll have FOMO.
Yep. All right. Go ahead, Keish.
Mine was gonna be to scrap this whole angry Devon situation
Okay.
because they had no legitimate reason for why they're making him out to be this angry little man.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Who's taking? I mean, what you flipping on both?
I really wish Will was not involved in any of this. Like, give this boy a break. He has not had a break since the Luna stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got this boy screaming, crying, and begging every single week now.
I wish that Will would call out Electra. She's always calling him out on everything, holding all of the accountability. Somebody need to call her out.
Yeah.
I I wish that Taylor would have gone back to the Forrester mansion with Eric and took up, I'll say take up for him, but explained the actual situation that happened. Yeah, I'll say take up for Will because wasn't nobody else doing it.
Right. I got you. All right. What you flipping on BTG?
I would love for, and I know this is not going to be popular, but I wouldn't have minded with Bill and Danny hooking up. When he showed up to the house and it looked like they were about to kiss, I would love for them to hook up, and then right when Nicole comes in, she catches that.
Yeah. I guess my flip is the free Bill in this whole poison storyline.
Girl,
It's just going on too long, and you keep giving this man all types of doses. You even worked this man out in exercise and then gave him some, probably hoping that his heart rate was going to be up. And yeah, he's shaking, but he's still here. And yeah, somebody need to. I don't want the character to get, unalived off, but just figure out what y'all going to do with the storyline.
Yeah, it's time to move on. Um, who's mine gonna be? Oh, mine was gonna be that I wish that Kat had not had a reaction to that live at all because I'm ready for them to move on from the stuff with Eva.
yeah.
Okay.
Like we don't have to make them buddy buddy, but we don't have to have Kat react to everything that she does.
Right. All right.
Okay.
So who is taking seats on Y&R?
Nick gonna need to take a seat. He's gonna be really chill. Yeah, Phyllis too.
Phyllis to her little thirsty self can have a seat.
Yeah.
And actually, Devon can have a seat too for that conversation that he had with
Kane.
Kane. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna give Billy a seat because it's like that girl. You have nothing to do with Spectre Charles. Yet you finna start a whole nother war trying to go after Victor after she done got the money in hand and hopefully drama off her back. So, all right, who's taking seats on Bold?
Forcers. Every last one of them.
Okay. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, girl.
I'm gonna give Finn and Sheila both seats.
Okay.
Electra, yes, the Forcers also getting seats. And I'm gonna give Dylan a seat because I don't like the way that she begs Will. Like I want her to have a little bit of
some dignity.
Yes, some dignity. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give Eric a seat for not coming clean. I know y'all gave the Foresters a seat, but Eric get a big old one when that girl confronted him and said, "I need you to tell the truth. I could lose my sisters over this," and you get up and walk away like you did nothing. Sit down, sit back down, take that seat, and tell the truth.
Yeah.
And Donna knows it too. She need to take a seat right beside him because you were right there when all that was going on.
Yeah.
Keeping secrets.
Yeah.
So. All right. Who's taking seats on BTG?
Well, Danny, obviously, but I hate to say this, but I'm going to give my girl Kat a seat this week. She had no reason for that reaction.
I'm going to give Danny a seat for the way that she's reacting to Naomi and also, once again, letting Bill in the house and entertaining BS. Um, and then I'm gonna give or somebody else I want to give a seat last week, and now I can't remember. Oh, Isaiah. Isaiah's getting a seat because he's dragging his stuff with his dad.
Yeah, like move on, sweetie, move on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Keish. I'm gonna give Danny and Isaiah a seat. Yep. All right, star of the week, Weinar.
I'm actually going to give this to Melody because her reaction to when she found out that she's still blind after the bandages were removed and then she breaks the mirror, that's gut wrenching. I couldn't imagine being in that position, and she played that role very well.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'll give that a star as well. Keish?
Yeah, I'll agree with you guys on that one.
Okay. Star bold.
I'm gonna give it to Crew.
I'm gonna give it to the stunt double.
Oh, Eric's stunt double.
Yeah, I saw. Did y'all see the backstory on that?
Yeah,
I saw the picture, but I didn't read the caption or anything.
Yeah. Because he was flying across that room.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm actually gonna give mine to Heather Tom.
Yeah, that's
because that was a great scene that she had.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of energy to be doing all that backing and crying.
Yeah. And she can cry on cue. I don't know who can cry better on cue, her or Catherine Kelly Lane.
Okay.
Heather Tom got her beat. Heather Tom has the entire soap world beat when it comes to that.
Okay.
All right, star BTG.
I'm actually gonna give this to Timon Durrett, who plays Bill, because you're doing your job when you're upsetting your audience.
Right.
Wasn't Deanna sing last week? Was Bill,
yes.
or was that, or
she
not
was,
Bill? Doug. Did she see Doug last week?
I believe she did.
I'm giving it to her.
Oh, okay. All right, Pickle Young.
Devon. He had no reason to even speak to Kane. Like, you don't have to like his sister's decisions, but she made it. Yeah. It's like, just move on and move forward, please.
I'm going to give it to Billy.
Okay, yes. He definitely needs that.
Yep.
Man, I agree with both of them. Both of the pickles you guys put together. I'm so tired of Billy and his whining and complaining.
Yeah, it's always
about
something.
His mom.
If it ain't Victor, it's his mama.
Yeah.
So, all right, and Pickle Bold.
Let's go to Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, I'm giving it to Electra and RJ. Ugh.
I'm gonna give it to RJ.
Yeah. Okay. And Pickle BTG.
I'm gonna give this to Haley. Boy, she is terrible at this. She's terrible at this.
Yeah. I agree. What you got, Keish?
I don't think I have one. I'll give it to Danny and her repetitive dialogue with Bill.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. And that chick is. It seems like she is definitely interested. As much as she's fighting it, she's definitely interested in being his side chick.
Which I have no words for how pathetic that is.
Yeah. All right.
Like, you have got to be a sad, sorry person to accept a side chick role from a man you were married to for 30 years.
Right. All right, Simple Olympics. What you got, Bree?
So I'm gonna give the bronze to Adam because he he went out of his way to buy a company to protect his ex-girlfriend from the wrath of Victor, which he shouldn't even get himself involved in. He had his own money to start his own company, but wants to put his cape on for Sally for absolutely no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I have a question about that.
mhm.
Since he
Yeah,
bought it with his own money, is that not just his company? It's not Victor's, right?
probably by the end of the week it's going to be Victor's to some extent.
Like it wasn't Newman cash that he bought it with. It was his. It was Adam Newman's money, right?
It's his
Mm-hmm.
own money,
Okay.
and Victor's going to find a way to get one over on Adam and Chelsea this week, so
Yeah,
it'll
on
be back in
Friday.
Victor's hands. So he's used his own money for Victor to have that company.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Stupid.
Yep.
Silver is going to go to Danny because once again you're still entertaining this man.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
Like a dodo bird.
Yeah. Gold is going to go to Will for a lot of different reasons, but I'm so sick of this boy begging and crying for this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then platinum is going to go to RJ because you're going out of your way to get beaten up and to starting fights to give attention to a girl who is still just using you to get drunk off of attention and still looking pouty and starry-eyed for Will.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
In that way. I envision this being a Thomas Hope situation where she's just entertaining RJ romantically to keep her mind off Will. And his feelings don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I agree with that list in any order.
okay.
Because yeah, I mean, at what point do these guys stop beating on each other? Well, he gets retaliatory because of the fact that RJ keep pushing him, and of course he's reacting. But y'all are cousins, and this girl is just playing the two of you like a fiddle.
Yep.
And my question is, RJ, is he still interested in dating this girl? Because they really haven't, or is this just him protecting his cousin now?
No, he still wants to date her.
Yeah.
Because he don't look at her as a cousin.
Yeah, because they kind of moved away from the whole romantic dialogue with those two.
Because
She
he's
really had the opportunity to kind of have that dialogue until now.
Well, he had plenty
they
of it when they were in a relationship. So I mean, now that they out, you would think he would still try to. You know what I mean?
were they ever in a relationship?
No, no, I'm saying that when she was in a relationship with Will, he made it very explicit what his intentions were with trying to get with her. I don't
Oh, I see
see
what you're
that as
saying.
much like that anymore. It's more of, are you okay? How you doing? Foresters don't mix. I don't know if they kind of dialed that back a little bit.
I feel like they dialed back that dialogue with him because they didn't want RJ to come off as the creepy, pushy,
Okay.
like kind of like how they wrote Thomas. I think they realized that initially they were kind of making RJ that way
Mm-hmm.
because he was very pushy, not pushy, but it was just like nonstop every time he talked to Electra. And I feel like maybe they dialed back on it um, until I don't know her and RJ broke up, and maybe or her and Will broke up, and now maybe he's gonna go back to pushing up on her,
Yeah,
maybe
cause
a little more subtly. I don't know.
yeah, cause in his conversation today, he was like, "Now you can just move on with your life." Normally, we'll hear him say, "You know, you can move on with a man like me or something like that." He was like, "You can just move on with your life now." I'm like,
Um,
"Okay, yeah." So I didn't know if they're kind of like backing off of it because, like you say, it was a little bit too more abrasive or forward, or are they just going to keep them as Foresters versus we're protecting the Foresters versus him trying to get with her?
Nah, I
I
think
don't know.
this has always been about him wanting to get with her or nothing more.
Mm, okay. All right, y'all. We got the Audacity Award.
Yeah. It's actually going to be a couple that's going to get the Audacity Award for me. And that's going to be Eric and Donna.
Oof.
It started with this man. He refuses to take accountability. And the fact that Donna did not stand up for her sister, Katie, knowing that the truth of all of this, and she could have set the Forrester straight, including her husband.
Mm-mm.
The
Yeah, I agree
gall,
with
the
that.
gumption, the audacity of them both.
I can agree with that, but I'm gonna definitely give it to Electra and RJ. It's just they get on my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you
I
got,
agree.
Keish?
Yep, those two are the perfect ones for that award.
Yeah, they're irritating. So, but yeah, that was a good one too, Bree, with Eric, because I'm telling you, that was a gut punch. This girl is begging and crying, and you get up and walk out of her face.
Yeah. And Donna was no better.
Exactly, especially because you knew your husband did that, and you just gonna
Yeah.
you just gonna leave your sister out to dry when you know your husband is lying. So,
Yeah.
all right, you guys, we're gonna end it right here. Make sure y'all tapped the like button on the way out if you're not subscribed to this channel. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for other standalone videos throughout the upcoming weeks as we head into August. Ah, and
Crazy how.
I know. When's the next sweeps? Is it November?
Yep.
Yeah. So we get a break from all these sweeps storylines because usually in the beginning of the year they're like every other month.
Yeah.
But now we got a little bit of break. We'll see what these storylines look like, especially on Y&R with the new writing or whatever, and the new changes behind the scenes and all that good stuff. We got in a little over 2 months the daytime Emmy Awards coming out on October 30th. So looking forward to all that good stuff coming up soon.
Yay.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all got anything else before we go?
Nope.
No?
No, stay safe with all these weather changes.
Yeah, it's finally quiet out here. I know if you were in the Chicagoland area, it was insane today around noontime. So hopefully, if you are in this area, y'all got your power back on. Because a lot of people were out of power and trees were down and all types of stuff. So it was a crazy tornadic day.
Yeah. Stay safe, y'all.
All right, so until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye.